Hello, 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 hello. I'm sure it's working. Okay, here we go. Hello, welcome all my lovely goblins and ghouls of the internet. I'm Hanyo, your demon cinephile, and we are starting a new vampire adventure. A vampire, the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York. Sorry for starting a little bit late. Was setting things up early. Then I got distracted to help Mama Hanya with something. And then Coco was being Coco, and we had to play it for a little bit. She demands her attention. Yeah, but sorry for no stream yesterday. Yesterday, the whole intention purpose was we were going to do a stream. We just got home super late. I was trying things out for the PS3. So apparently, I did not know this, that the PS3 has like a built-in HDCP into it. Like you can't really switch it off like you can with 4 and 5. So no streams on the PS3, which I was gonna use the PS3 so we can watch a movie together, but we cannot do that. So the thought was to use Shudder or Pluto so we can watch something funny, but like I said, we just didn't get here in time. I'm gonna try to find a way we can bypass that HDCP thingamabib, so we can do. There's a lot of classic games I want to play on stream, especially the Infamous games. I really want to play those again. They're so good. I have a lot of Arkham I have the first 3 Arkham Batman on the PS3, and I refuse to rebuy them. Mostly because it's gonna be worth some money. I already have them. Sorry, I need to turn this phone down so loud. There you go. Yeah. So till then, no streams on the 3, which is sad. Tomorrow, okay, I just want to say this real quick before I forget. Tomorrow, the stream for tomorrow might be canceled. I'm not sure because Ninjin Papa. Yes, okay, so it's lore wise. Okay, you guys want some little bit of lore about us, about me? For parents, for my parental beings, it is Mama Hanyo, because she is the demonic presence in my life. And then there is Ninjin Papa. He is the mortal one. He is mortal. Okay, so Ninjin Papa, he might need help with me for something tomorrow, so I might come home late, or I might not come home at all. So Mouse PI might be canceled, or it might just be moved to either late Tuesday or onto Saturday. Still not sure, to be determined. But okay, let's get along to this, because I've been really wanting to start this one. I've been loving all these Vampire the Masquerade games. I have the other 2, like the old games I got from Steam. the Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. That one works fine, but the original Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, that didn't load. I have the game, I turned the game on, it looked like it was gonna load, it looked like it was gonna boot up and work just fine, but then it just didn't run, like it crashed. So I've been looking things up and saying there's a patch I can download, so I'm gonna look a little bit more into that before I actually do it though. But we probably won't play the game for a while. We probably won't play the game until I come back from my work trip, which I have my first meeting for that starting on Wednesday. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be exciting. I mean, I worked with these people for at least 2 years now, so I kind of already know what the deal is, like what the job is going to be. I think I need a little bit of a promotion. Not sure. Oh, whatever. Let's start the game. Ooh, I love her eyes. I like the vampire eyes when they glow. Has that glass-like quality. The world of darkness, made with unity. Load game. Okay. So settings. Should we fix the settings real quick? English. Oh, French. Is all in English and French? Oh. No, so we're gonna go French. Just like our favorite vampires, the Statilian Core. Louis de Pontulac, Claudia de Laincourt, Talili Poli. This is the Lavon Rapi. I cannot speak French for real. Font size, we make it a bit bigger. Let's make it like a good medium. Auto save, auto speed. Controls, glossary, navigate, pause, journal, toggle. So about the same as the other games, so it's still a visual novel. Music, should we turn music down a bit? It should be fine. I haven't had problems with the music before. Vibrations, animations. Hold interactions. Disable this option to allow an immediate selection of choices without the need to hold the button. Should I hit this one or no? Nah. New game. Oh, choose our character. Oh, the male character is locked. Okay, so what's her name? Callie. Ravonos. My sire's gone AWOL, and I've got no clue why. It sucks, but hey, I'm a raven. When things get dicey, I go with my gut. And right now it's telling me to just keep searching. It hasn't let me down so far. It won't start now, right? Why does she have a Walkman? Oh god, it's the Star-Lord effect. It's the Star-Lord effect. Man, it's probably not gonna be that bad. I don't really care. Oh yeah, points. Okay. So what are these powers? Animalism. Animalism allows kindred to commune with, control, or feed more efficiently on animals. Obfuscate allows kindred to hide easily, move without being noticed, and divert the eyes of observers. And presence. Presence is a kindred ability to influence emotions in others, or attract or to terrify. So each one already has a point. I love the animal. Oh. Now let's go with the psychic powers. Let's go with animalism and presence. Struggle, okay. Difficulty. Hunger. Struggle against your inner beast by adding risk management to disciplines. Hunger threats. The hunters are watching your every move. Play it safe or risk getting ambushed on detours. Yeah, let's keep them both on. No, let's go. Let's go. Night 1. The beginning. Our eyes are pretty. Oh, what did we do this? Vampire the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York. So I'm guessing everything starts in a fire. Maybe Lou de Pontelac was here. December 20, 2024, 7 nights till New Year's. Okay. It's our glossary. Alright, so I've already got most of our terms with us. Journal, or just anything. Pause. Alright. So this is a little different interface. Oh, let's look at the thing. So accessibility, hot, clean UI. What's that look like? Oh, and what's it look like with it off? No. Let's keep it on for now. Until we get used to it. All right, D'Angelo Burrow. If you can even call it that, feels more like a rough draft on a asteroid belt. Suggesting it's shabby almost gives it too much credit, as if there's some hidden allure to the mess, which there definitely isn't. His head is cocked thoroughly, beady eye piercing me right through. Does this acute interest stem from the matter I brought in, or does he simply enjoy watching me wriggling in this wretched chair? I ask, but underneath the repulsive mask of his face, I notice something that looks a lot like fear, a detail I pocket for later. A strong synthetic odor taints the still air. The world is moving forward, but this crap reeks worse than your average smoke, and the way he squashes those mini cigs in the ashtray. It's clear. D'Angelo's struggling to shake off old habits. Not that I'm one to throw stones, but he's quite the character. Useful, but infuriating too, at times. Like right now, for example. Okay, so this is a really different way to log the text. I kind of like it. So we constantly don't have to go back to see what it says. And like this too, like I don't have to rush to read the words as they appear on the thing. D'Angelo, you look the same. Meg, let's get this straight. You lost your sire, eh? Patience, Callie. Am I speaking in riddles? Oh, come on. Ooh, let's be abrasive. Did my words evaporate before hitting your ears? He rolls his eyes so theatrically, you think he's auditioning for a noir play. It's my way of cracking the case, you know. I'm here to lend you a hand, Callie. Now come on, spill the beans. Lay it all out. That's the issue. He just flaked on our meeting, and I don't know why. Renard Castle has a knack for avenging, though. Maybe he had to make himself scarce. Skip town. He have left me a clue, for sure. So you still relying on those wall tags, the hobo code or whatnot? The chandelier here has totally been killing it lately. I mean, I might casually mention the code once or twice, but nothing major. Well, right. Alright, maybe I showed him a symbol, but that's pretty much useless on his own. If Renard catches wind of me spilling the beans, he's gonna flip. He's like Fort Knox when it comes to our secrets. We do. And when I find absolutely zilch, which doesn't happen by the way, he never bail on each other when we split up for stuff like this. It's just too dangerous. Maybe you don't have a chance to leave a trail. Were you two supposed to rendezvous? I should tell him. Why is he snooping around so much? He doesn't need to know. Ooh, Well, he is the detective vampire, so yeah. Just tell him. Coney Island, just a few blocks off the Wonder Wheel. He nods, utterly unsurprised, and I feel my hackle rise. You knew already? Had a hunch, but thanks for telling me either way. Maybe dropping by D'Angelo wasn't such a great plan, or maybe he's not as useless as I assumed, but he's definitely got me on edge. I shoot him a skeptical glance, but he appears to be elsewhere, lost in his own thoughts. His lips move silently, almost like he's whispering prayer. Prick your ears. What's that? Ignore it. Prick your ears. All right. I strain my ears and finally catch a few words. When a damsel in distress entered his dimly-lit office, lost in the urban jungle with nowhere to go, she turned to the only person she could trust. Detective extraordinaire, Gianni D'Angelo. But neither of them foresaw the storm brewing, ready to shake their world to its core. Is he monologuing to himself? Oh, we got a monologuing. I'll skip over your noir wet dreams. But what's the deal with the storm? Don't you worry about it. The way he says it really makes me worry about it, but I brush it off. So you made your way to Coney Island, but came up empty-handed. No castle, no trail to follow. Anything worthy at all. Just your typical shady assholes loitering around, clearly up to something. Pretty standard for New York City, as far as I'm aware. Shady assholes, who? Kindred? Regular folks, I think, all twitchy and restless. He furrows his brow, nodding slowly, but seems more in mourning than deep in thought. When he finally speaks, it's not all what I expected to hear. To be frank, Callie, I'm running short on answers. Your sire seems just temporarily unavailable, or gone for good, or something else. Can't say I'm entirely shocked. He tries to stroll around nonchalantly, but the mess in his burrow just as nonchalantly throws him off balance. This completely ruins his noir vibe, so I shoot him a cheeky grin, but he's too caught up to even notice. Breaking character must have rattled him good. If I were you, I'd leave out of his book and disappear pronto. And that's exactly what I tend to do once I'm through with my business in this city. I unpocket the fear I observed a moment ago and give D'Angelo another good lasting look. He's genuinely terrified, like seriously scared, but there's this hint of desperation too. I've contained my inner con artist. She's practically salivating in my head, just waiting to join in. But when things go south, D'Angelo's a buddy you stick with. Not somebody you ditch and forget. Gianni, seriously, what's up? I'm kinda freaking out here. There's too many loose ends to stitch together. A complete tale. And, frankly, it's too lengthy for me one night. Oh, anyway. But there's a storm gathering this city. I've been through some rough patches, but this feels like a whole different kind of trouble. Got the cryptid shit. Just for once. He looks over my shoulder, lost in thought, like he's figuring out how to drop an anchor or someone who's already drowning. Our kind has been dropping like flies lately. Nobody seems to be a specific target, but it's hitting mostly Dustborn. The court dubs it the culling of thin bloods, real, real knee slappers. They got those sons of guns. But there's been other victims too. A chill runs down my dead spine. Here's the sad reality. New York City has been as dangerous for Kentred as is these nights. What for? Infighting or external threat? Ooh, probably both. Are the sects seriously at each other's throats that hard? Same old song and dance, right? But this time there's a curveball, enough to make them halt the hostilities and... excuse me. You hear that? You know what? I'll fill you in while we're hit the road. The urge to flee slams into me like a freight train, and there's something about this tone that almost convinces me to hightail it out of the city. But it was not quite time to make a break for it. I might stick around for a while, so... D'Angelo's visibly concerned. Should I be worried too? You're really not gonna let him go, huh? Of course not. I'll find Renard, come hell or high water. Besides, someone has to handle detective's duty since, judging by how desperately you want me to drive you out of town, damsel in distress is already taken. D'Angelo tilts his head downward just enough to fix his crooked smile, a smile abandoned by joy long ago. I know you well enough not to even bother trying to change your mind, but you have a knack for drive and diving head first into trouble. So hear me out. Keep your head down, set off the radar, don't feed willy-nilly, and above all, don't reveal your true nature, unless you're 100% sure nobody can see you. So, the Masquerade, basically. I'm not joking, Tally. Keep low or else. Yeah. Thanks for the tip. I rise to my feet and wave goodbye as I head out the door. I'll grab you once I've found Renard on my own, since you've been such a big help. Oh, I like this. I like this feel. It's more comic booky-ish, but you know, it's a realistic. It has a good blend. But I don't know. The other one still has kind of a style to it, like a little bit of a charm. It feels a little too different, but I still like it. It takes me a while to actually notice the air around me, crisp and clear, without the ever-present stench of D'Angelo's nicotine habit. I find it's taking me longer each time to catch on. When will I reach the point where I don't notice it anymore? Renard's license and the total lack of hints about his whereabouts bug me way more than I'm ready to say out loud. The streets are deserted. It's like everyone vanished, scared off by the winter chill that mortals seem to hate. The darkness of the night, lit up by bursts of color, is kind of beautiful in a bleak urban way. But my sire is gone. I don't know what to do. Back at D'Angelo's, I was all talk, swearing that I'd track down Renard myself or burn up trying. Pretty sure he saw right through me, through my BS. Were I half as confident as I pretend, I wouldn't feel so utterly lost. In late December, in the big fucking dangerous apple of all places. If D'Angelo's warnings have any weight, maybe it's time to bulk up on our supplies. Our courtier, let's just say we're big on being ready for anything. Renard is the mastermind behind all our safety nets, making sure we don't even brush close to failure. His obsessive pepper-handedness has pulled us out of the fire more than once. Whenever we're running our gigs, we've got these spots stocked up with goods and, let's call it, personal protection. One of those hidden catches lies just around the block, if I remember right. It's been ages, but that's probably the first place I should hit up before I go hunting for Renard. Better safe than in a grave, right? Oh, so the map's all different. Ooh, this is actually kind of eerie. The first one's cool. This one's actually eerie. All right. We got 3 options. So I'm guessing this one is the main story route. Square 1, Coney Island. Yeah, main quest, okay. The rundown parking lot where I stashed my RV seemed deserted, enough to keep away prying eyes. I should head back to Coney Island, see if Renard showed up while I was away. Or maybe he left one of our signature wall signs, cluing me in on what to do next. Main quest, Square 1, the RV. Sure, my RV is a fortress on wheels and all, but I better move it before it starts drawing too much attention. And if anything happens to our stash, well, I'd rather not dwell on that. Unless I want dodging Renard to become my main focus, instead of figuring out where he vanished. And the detour, precautionary measures. Survival is a game we all play. Or so Renard always preaches to our gang. That's why we stash supplies catches all over. If D'Angelo's warning holds water, grabbing some supplies may actually come in handy. Maybe we should do this one first. Great. Fucking great. Looking over the wreckage of what used to be my secret stash, I can't stop the flood of swears. Whoever the hell found it, they cleared it out completely. They didn't even have the courtesy to leave a "my bad" for the raid note. It wasn't a treasure trove or anything, just an old combat knife, a bulletless revolver, and some jewelry I was planning to pawn off for less than what they're worth. I get why they take that stuff, but seriously, what's anyone gonna do with a cooler full of expired blood bags? Could this have been the work of one of our kind? After what D'Angelo said, it doesn't seem too far-fetched. So, the vampires of New York has gone really, I guess, weird or extra hard on each other. Because it seems like from everything we're dealing with Shadows of New York, we're mostly going to be peace between all the different clans and the Carmelia and the Anarchs. That was the whole thing about killing Callahan and what or I forgot her name already. What our character did in the last game. I was going to close these vents. Alright. That's a lot better. Whoever they are, they better hope I don't find them first. Okay. Stepping back onto the streets, the harsh reality hits me. My gear is history, and no amount of complaining is going to magically bring it back. Believe me, I tried. But then again, maybe I'm just being paranoid. D'Angelo had a thing for urban legends and slapping conspiracy theories onto pretty much anything. Why should this time be any different? It's Christmas, after all. Around 3 parts looting is particularly a holiday tradition. As I'm coming to terms with my situation and thinking about what to do next, I get that weird feeling. It's like my inner alarm system is giving me a nudge, telling me something's off. A quick look behind me confirms it. Yep, I've got followers, and not just 1, but 2. Finally, I'm hitting my social media milestones. Uh-oh. Are they hunters or kindred? My gut tells me to move faster, and I find myself darting into a barely lit alleyway, disappearing into the shadows. I press myself against the cold bricks and wait. That's when I catch it, a high-pitched voice filled with endless babble. Her words cut through the air, harsh and acidic. She's talking about me, and it's far from flattering. Squeaker. It was her, the freak draped in all the garb gray. I effing told ya. Drab gray? Who the hell does she think she is? I need to get a look at them. Girl, we come back empty-handed for the third time and we're cooked. Oh, fuck her and her cheap ass for Forest Ranger getup. The nerve to diss my look? Why are they even after me anyway? The one making all the noise is fidgeting non-stop, like a squirrel high on candy, muttering something I can't make out. It's clear planning impromptu actions isn't her strong suit. The other one seems timid, obviously wishing she was anywhere but here. I find the whole scene hilarious under different circumstances, but I got bigger fish to fry than the low-budget permanent the Pernate Midnight remake. Daunt scared the shit out of them. Oh, I can't pick that option because I don't have that those skills. Oh, Daunt scared the shit out of them. Why not? We'll use some power. But watch them be hunters and messes it up. Screw it. Time to see what they're really made of. I stride towards them, deliberately noisy. The quiet one faints immediately, while the loud one's eyes go wide the moment she spots me. You were hunting for a freak? Well, congrats. You found one. Ah, shit. She recoils, fumbling for something under her jacket, panicking because it's taking too long. I channel every bit of the malice I've honed during my dark web days and unleash it full force on her. Oh, you think you can handle me? No, that's adorable. In a single foot move, I'm up in her grill. Come on, bitch. I'll tear your asshole to so many pieces, they'll never put your story back together. Get away from me! Finally, she loses her shit and makes a run for it, tripping over her own feet on the way. I lost sight of her, and panic noises fade. Is almost riveting, if not for the reason she was here in the first place. In the end, I leave them both be. They weren't exactly a threat, but damn. It turns out D'Angelo wasn't just blowing smoke up my ass. But none of that alters my goal. Finding Renard remains a top priority. I could go back to Coney Island and see if he turned up while I was gone. The possibility of berating him for thoughtlessness cracks me up, if only a little. And yeah, I gotta move the RV before it draws too much attention, before some busybody develops an unwanted interest in it. But there is no point in driving into Coney Island when I can take the subway. So what to do first? Yeah, she said no point in going to Coney Island and take the subway, so let's go this one. That's Coney Island. Let's go this one. If anything happens to our stash, Renard is going to skin me when he shows up. I happen to like my skin. I have for as long as I can remember. Plus, it's not like he's facing his final death or anything, I think. Let's see with the microphone. There we go. New York really lives up to his rep as the city that never sleeps. People keep walking past, oblivious to the intensity of my gaze. The blood slowly courses through their veins just beneath the surface of their skin, tempts me in ways I cannot describe. I force myself to look away, not for the dregs of my own morality, nor because I feel any grand respect for them. It's simpler than that. Too many eyes, too much risk. My crew's unspoken credo. Isolated parking lot. Square 1. The RV. As I approach the ruined parking lot where I stashed my RV, I freeze. Shit. There's already a crowd milling around. 2. No, 3 of them. Maybe mortal, but kindred or ghouls are much more likely. Cause what random thieves suddenly got their hands itchy for an RV as old as mine? No, they must be Carmelia types, given where we are. I can feel my vitae starting to boil, but I play it cool. What's their interest in my RV? How they even find it? And more importantly, how do I get them to leave? Silence of death. Now they hear me. Oh, I can't pick the other one. Ah, no. Can I see our disciplines? So I wonder how I guess I gotta complete certain story missions. And I get to upgrade them. I blink. The drifting snowflakes seem defending next to my gate. The powerless don't see me. Can't detect hint of my movement as I approach my RV. Seeing like this shatters the remnants of my heart. They wrecked it, digging through hidden compartments, flipping through confidential documents that won't reveal anything to them, spilling my medicinal stored blood. Medicusely, I said medicinal, I think that sounds cooler. Stored blood, and tossing my sparse furnishings onto the pavement. My home, violated, ruined, done. Sorry. I hang back until they're all outside, huddled together over some undoubtedly crucial matter. Barely containing my wrath, simmering just under my cold, undead skin, I force myself to calm down. I sneak into the driver's seat before my illusion fades away. Speeding off right under their noses is bold, maybe even a bit stupid, but, well, I follow my gut like I always do. It really fails me, but when it does, oh boy. I mean, I'm ravenous, right? The first idea that pops into my head is typically the winner. Just as I'm about to make my move towards my RV, I spot her. Actually, scratch that, is my skin that reacts first. Every hair is standing on end as if electrocuted. An alarm blares in my head, screaming danger. Only then do I see her stepping smoothly out of the shadows. Gait relaxed, and yet somehow predatory. Oh god, is that supposed to be Panhard? Kind of feels like Panhard, but she wouldn't be doing this kind of shit herself, right? Leaving so soon, sugar? I have no idea who she is, and I normally spot on at identifying those who prefer me finally dead. It's handy in my line of business. Yep, duty calls, and by duty I mean you can fuck right off. She doesn't even blink at my quip and just keeps edging closer. I feel an urge to step back, but a quick side eye informs me that the parlors have returned and are standing right behind me. I'm afraid you're gonna have to come with me. Don't tell me what to do. Am I a criminal now? I was raised better than that. Sorry, no can do. Sugar. Dad always said not to go off with strangers. Her smile stretches wider, but is devoid of any real humor or warmth. She only steps away now, and I'm officially trapped. Well, this stranger isn't giving you too many options, doll. I'm Valerie Duvall, the Scourge of New York. The council issued an arrest warrant in your name since they've taken interest in your unusual endeavors. With those recent businesses meeting, you left a trail of breadcrumbs too scrumptious not to follow. The fuck? We barely had time to look around New York, let alone meet up with anyone. Now you can either accompany me without a fuss or, well, let's just leave it the first option. It is decisively in your best interest. She gestures to one of the prowlers behind me, her henchman, I guess, who brandishes a hefty, sharpened stake. My throat tightens involuntarily. What the fuck does the council want with me? Our crew's business isn't all that against their precious traditions. Is it? I'm not without reason, darling. Your move. We have the wrong person. Thanks for the fake choice. God, she's annoying. This one. Oh, it's my move, ain't it? Cause from my viewpoint, all roads seem to end in the tip of that stake. Said tip jazz painfully against my back, right where my heart would be beating madly if it was all shriveled up. Case in point. The council will undoubtedly release you, following a malicious inquiry, of course. This is your final chance. Alright, Jesus, I'll fucking go with you. Valerie tosses me a so-called smile, the sort that could turn the sun into ice. Good girl. Now come, the council is waiting. Alright, I guess we don't really have a choice but this one. Judgment at the Elysium. Now I'm being slammed in with some bullshit accusation, hauled to Elysium for interrogation. What the fuck? There's no way I'm playing along. Well, maybe I am, seeing as I'm about to go fang to fang with New York's ivory tower. So, this is their joint? The art hole? Seriously, who could they have picked a more pretentious spot? The ivory tower splinter has wedged itself right in the middle of New York City's swankiest row. Welcome to the still heart of the Camellia's incorrect machinations. Here, where local kindred clink their glasses, all the while plotting each other's demise. Unless, of course, you're a pariah like me, an outcast from a wrong clan, with a knack for stirring up trouble, in which case you're screwed from get to go. Honestly, I prefer not knowing how posh it is. Places like this don't exactly roll the red carpet for someone who deals with my kind of stuff. But since I got no immediate escape plans, might as well play along. I happily shit on it on principle, but gotta admit, it seems pretty low-key on the outside. Not counting the two chuckling goons who clearly missed the memo on blending with the crowd. And on that note, is there a giggle-worthy revelation? Is there a giggle-worthy revelation you care to share with me, Birdie? Your demeanor hints at a job well done, does it not? The awkward freeze frame those two are stuck in would be comedy gold if I wasn't knee-deep in my own mess. Hey, Mr. Vol. Sir, I mean, not really anything too wild. You know, just like the usual stuff we're seeing. I guess. Does this usual stuff include dubious characters within a mile's reach of Elysium? Groups for which you specifically instructed to watch out. 3 of them to be exact, if my count holds true. 3 groups of what? Honestly, I didn't spot a thing. Then again, maybe I'm just not clued in on what to look out for. Let her cook. Let her cook. I'm out of the loop. Not cool. This one. Being clueless really gets to me. That's right. Loads of shady crews lurking around. I did a quick head count myself. There's like 16 of them just hanging out around the corner. You sure about that? Oh yeah, why don't you head over there and check it out? Take these fellows with you and get to the bottom of it, pronto. I throw a casual thumb in the direction of Valerie's goons, but the death stare she shoots me slams the brakes on any further attempts at humor. I mean, I apologize, we really should have. Yes, you really should have. Boy, that shot threw him like an icy bullet. I wasn't exactly cozy myself, but that poor saw probably just shed the last ounce of warmth left in him. He shit himself. Return to your duties at once. I'll be expecting a detailed report within the next hour. Yes, Mr. Vault, sir. He waddles off like a scolded kid and his pal refuses to meet our eyes. I throw Valerie a look of unwilling respect. She obviously holds some serious clout in these parts. Come now, dragging old feet earns you no favors, and believe me, you could use a few. Is that an offer, Mr. Duval? Her smile serves as enough of a silent veto to make it clear that prying any further is futile. Not exactly a good sign. She swings the door open, but there is no warm invitation in the gesture. The place doesn't quite live up to the posh art gallery image in my mind. Sure, there's a hint of what could be Masquerade on the walls, but most of the art is either shoved aside or covered up. Okay, this is a new cool look of the art hole. Normally only got that one scene still between both games. My instincts shift into overdrive. First up, a quick room survey. Search for escape route, scan for access points, take a good look around. No spills, fuse box, no signs of optical fiber installations. Frankly, not a trace of any civilized tech in sight. That's the thing with these old school meets modernity buildings. It just doesn't sit right with me. But of course, it's exactly the Camarilla style. Step 2 practically unfolds itself on his own. The room's a power cake of kindred in the middle of an intense debate. The tension is palpable, suspicion dialed up to 11. That's when their voices finally break through the walls of my focus. Is that Kodar? Is that Kodar? Our boy looks different again? Would have been such an issue if we had taken action when the signs were so glaringly obvious. It is! It's our boy! That long hair hunk must be Kodar al-Asim, the Carmelia sheriff. I had my fill of stories about him, but now I can put a face to the reputation. That snarvy prick. If only the rest of us were blessed with your profound gift of foresight, Sheriff, and life would be a walk in the park. Allow me to emphasize, our risks aren't limited to a single front. Acting on a gut feeling might work wonders in motion pictures. Here in the real world, it's a different story. This one's a mystery to me, but the way he's navigating the conversation, he's clearly a heavyweight in these parts. Spare me the pretense of ignorance, Arturo. The pattern was unmistakable, well over a month ago now. Arturo, Thomas Arturo. Shit. Renard especially told me to steer clear of this guy's mess. The bickering rages on, and Valerie doesn't seem eager to reveal her catch, aka yours truly. Your playful decisions to allow the thin bloods to appoint Larson as their primogene raises his final death to a level that can't be casually swept under the rug. Helen, thin blooded or not, it throws into question our grip on the situation. That golfed out Ally McBeal definitely Alcine Sturbridge, the Tremine regent. I've been curious if Renard's operation sends to the local chantier, but he was, as always, tight-lipped about his private affairs. Oh, is this sir? This is sir? And that would have made me... What would you have me do then? Unleash our dear sheriff without adequate reconnaissance? Just in the name of haste? We can't overlook his excessive efficiency in the last skirmish, can we? Don't the prospects of a masquerade breach give you pause? Behold, the queen bee herself, Helen Panhard, the reigning prince of Stick Up the Ass. I figure we're all fond of keeping things the way they are. But there's times to just sit back and think. And then there's times when you gotta step up and do something bold. This feels like it's time to make a move. An anarch combining chaos. A revelation that somehow fails to astonish or unesteemed baron of the Bronx. An anarch baron inside Elysium. Now, that's a plot twist. What's the deal there? As I continue to look around, another figure catches my eye. A young-looking woman, entirely decked out in black, casually playing with a cigarette. Ah! Jules! That's our girl, Jules! It's Jules! Okay, so we actually get to play, we actually get to interact with the character we are playing. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. It'd be neat if the system could read the last game I played and it could tell how I played her. That'd been really cool. I doubt it's gonna do that though. Mostly because I deleted the game. She shoots me a brief glance, clearly picking up on my curiosity. That ancient fart in the wheelchair, whispering to his servant. Who's that? Oh yeah, what's his name again? This like really old vampire. Not that he's an old vampire, he was an old man who was made a vampire. Whereas he's about to chime in, some lanky guy I totally missed till now decides to butt in. Who the F are you? My apologies for interrupting, Mrs. Payne, Mr. Payne. But it appears Mrs. Duvall has brought forth the issue you mentioned earlier. It might be wise to ensure she's not exposed to unnecessary information. How did I overlook this guy? He's all limbs and quirks, playing with some odd ring on his finger. He sticks out in this upscale bunch like a sore thumb. Is my mojo on vacation or what? Yes, thank you for that shrewd observation. Katif? She hurls those words like she's spitting venom. Whatever the opposite of sympathy is, she's brimming with it. Spitting venom. Yes, thank you for that shrewd observation, Katif. Wait. Katif? Esteemed counsel, I give you the troublesome, ravenous neonite. I gather you all desire a swift resolution to this matter. Especially given her reluctance to cooperate. As if on cue, every eye shifts to me. I'm not one to buckle under a strange fright, but this silent ostracism is on a whole new level. In this room, I'm on my own. I understand the formal necessity of addressing all. This is as well as my role in the matter. However, there are more pressing concerns demanding attention. Far more pressing. Shall we discard all traditions too? While we're at it, we praetoried around the Hudson problem for more than a year, yet progress remains as still as our debate. Certainly, a few additional moments to honor the very laws you spearhead so vigorously couldn't hurt, could they? The Hudson is a completely different beast. As you're well aware, we need to address the locust swarm engulfing New York before Camarillah's entire framework crumbles beneath its weight. And how does that sit with you, Payne? Just last night, 2 dustborns and a fledgling from your clan were reduced to ashes, and we are still in the dark about who's pulling strings. Shouldn't that worry you more than policing the purity of the red market? Herf. The old guy's servant steps forward, all awkward and rigid. In principle, I agree, Sheriff. However, should we continue to discard even minor infractions, we broadcast a message of vulnerability. Vulnerability threatens our efforts within and beyond our borders. Efforts we plan to carry on without interruptions once the locust swarm, as you termed it, is eradicated. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm inclined to agree with Gramps on this one. We can't simply let something like that slip through the cracks without taking proper measures. So, you assume the role of this advocate now? Quite the bold ascent of the ladder on your own making, Julia. What next on the horizon? Another hostile? Enough. Enough already. An awkward silence falls over the room, but it seems more about custom than actual respect. Guess we're all just creatures of habit, undead or alive. The sheer theatrics of the situation gives me a moment to sneak a glance at the prince, the sheriff, the old fart. Say the prince. Ooh. The old fart. I don't know. Let's do this one. Nodding off in his wheelchair, the coffin dodger looks like he's miles away from forming any independent thought, much less speaking them. Yet, somehow, he signals his wishes to his aide, who flawlessly translate them to the crowd. Am I the only one calling bullshit here? I might be reading too much into it, but I wouldn't trust that aide to pass me a napkin, let alone act on as my voice. When the prince finally manages to speak, her voice lacks the confidence you anticipate from someone at that helm. We're all here for the same reason. You are Alcine. Or I'm mistaken, and you forgot where your loyalties lie. Even now, as she turns to me, her presence is laid down. Not that I care. My head's on the chopping block, and she's the one calling the shots on whenever it stays put or rolls off. Now let's put this issue to rest. Here and now. Strive for brevity, Sheriff. Understood. The weight of his gaze is enough for me to lower my shoulders. Whatever comes, it's not going to be pretty. Kali of Clan Ravenos, you stand accused of violating the New York Carmelia's praxis, infringing on the traditions of hospitality, and endangering the Masquerade, among other things. Well, shit. Wait, on what grounds? Drop the act. There's a wealth of evidence in that recreational vehicle of yours. Most of it confirming the suspicions we have been harboring over the recent months. Petty theft from the subject's impersonation of other kindred. Lineage forgery. Need I go on? Oh, wrong button. Okay, guilty, but when do they start caring? It's not like I'm the only one dipping my toes into the ocean of misdemeanors. At least they don't know about our artifact gig. But your involvement in a large-scale blood and mortal trafficking outside our scrutiny and the jurisdiction of the circulatory system is as obvious as it is dangerous to the stability of our domain. The blood trafficking? Wait, mortal traffic? We're trafficking humans? This is human trafficking? We're a human trafficker? Okay, I mean, I know we're evil, but goddamn. Large scale, my ass. We hardly move anything through New York. Definitely not enough to impact their operations. Plus, we are super careful. Especially with your clientele often being in direct hostility to our interest, as Primogene Payne was kind enough to confirm. Seriously, this can't be right. We always check our clients. Well, Renard does, but is this some twisted way to set example? Are they playing the undead IRS? Wait, is their game... What is their game really? Oh, some might chalk this up to colossal stupidity. I am neither so forgiving nor tolerant of fraudsters who respect nothing but their own game. I'm not blind to the fact that Renard is completely MIA on this whole story. He's the big cheese, the head honcho of the entire affair, though calling it an affair might be giving it too much credit. So, why are they making out like I'm the mastermind behind some global crime syndicate? This is not the time to be quiet, Raven. You know what? Fuck them. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm not your scapegoat. Obviously, you found something. How can you not when you're the one planted there to begin with? Careful, Icarus. I watched it extra. I know the drill. Look, I get you need someone to pin this on, but you got the wrong. Out of nowhere, something pierces my mind, shredding its defenses to dust. It's like my head's been turned inside out, exposing my every thought for their amusement. I whip my head towards the source of this eerie situation, and boom, there's Quadar, the freaking sheriff, with those piercing eyes slicing through my layers of BS like it's cake. I earnestly hope you're not taking me for a fool. That would be a misstep of monumental proportions, unlike anything these walls have witnessed. I get a glimpse of Alcine out of the corner of my eye, silently mouthing words that look suspicious like, I beg to differ. Right then, a curved sword appears in Quadar's hand, as though he's just pulled it straight from thin air. Or maybe I'm just going nuts. Honestly, I'd totally be shitting my pants right now if that part of me wasn't offline. I'm not here for your games, little Raven. Choose your next words carefully. I argue this is utter lunacy. She couldn't even cobble together a feeble story, much less orchestrate a clandestine trading of this magnitude. And yarn spinning is supposed to be your clan's forte, isn't it? Last chance, my dear. Is there anything of substance you wish to add? Holy shit, this can't really be happening right now. What's my move? What would Renard do? Renard, if he had the decency to pop up or at least toss me a fucking heads up, I wouldn't be knee deep in this disaster. Is he really in trouble, or what if he bailed on me? Got a hint the Carmelita was breathing down his neck and decide I'm the perfect scapegoat. Nah, that doesn't sound like him. But why target me and not Renard? Sure, he's gone now, but could they really be that clueless about him? I'm totally lost, but I do know what he would probably do. His move would be to look out for number one. Spill the beans, more than necessary to buy some time. Time is gold. And with enough of it, maybe there's a chance to wiggle out of this mess. Or it's all or nothing now. Hit the jackpot or end up porcupine with stakes. Guess there's not much point in playing dumb. Huh. Couldn't agree more. Game on. Alright then. So, I entangle up in this little blood trafficking operation, playing a pretty crucial part, if I do say so myself, though I guess not everyone's on board with that assessment. I do the logistics, pushing merchandise through a services on the dark web channels. Every eyebrow in the room goes up, except for the cigarette aficionado in the back, who lets out a slight smirk. I mean, a little controlled drama never hurts in a short con. All totally secure and anonymous. No slips about, you know, our thing. Everything masked by the hustle of more mundane black markets. No way we're blowing the Masquerade. We deal in stored blood, as you might have caught on. Not just any blood though. Our merch is a little jazzed up. Thaumaturgically is enhanced? Thaumaturgically enhanced. What the heck is he talking about? What's that, real quick? Oh, just the workings of wonders and miracles. Is the only way they work, as you're well aware? I am, but that's not for you to find out. Right, of course. Oh, and we also deal in, let's just call them family treasures. But honestly, that's more like a side gig than anything serious. But we're extremely careful about picking our clients and really thorough when it comes to making deals, you know, the traditions and all that. I'm sure we never come close to breaking them. At least that's what he led me to believe. I had a hunch there were some dodgy dealings in his more secret ventures. To deny that would be a flat lie. But let's be real, I'm way outside the inner circle to have a real sway in those parts of his enterprise. For a brief moment, an uneasy silence sweeps over the room. His enterprise? This is a joke. Exactly who is this he you're referring to? I give it my all to appear as blameless as possible. Sure you are, sure you are. Just a blameless victim. I presume you knew it was my sire who's masterminding it all. The room's heavy silence is soon filled with hushed whispers, following my revelation. Good. As if information is on my side, I might just live to see another moonrise. Indeed, how fortuitous and your sire would be. There's only one other notable rogue in the city who comes to mind. Someone dipping in and out, known for their shifty nature, of which I was somewhat aware. Renar Castle. You nailed it, Chief. I mean, sir. Another brief moment of silence gets interrupted by the girl in black who addresses the sheriff. I can practically hear the cogs turning in your head, Kadar. What's your take on it? Truth be told, it doesn't add up, though I had him pegged more as a con artist than a trafficker. I had a burp. Then why hasn't he been apprehended yet, Sheriff? Are you secretly endorsing activities that impede the circulatory system's operations? For your own good, Payne, I'll pretend I didn't catch that. Or will you care to question my dedication to our cause again? Be warned, my patience wears extremely thin these nights. Can we put this bickering on hold? At least for the moment. An opportunity to start staring me in the face. How could I resist squeezing myself right into it? One more thing. Renard and I had a meeting lined up with a client a few hours back, but he never showed up. In the whole year and a half I've been in this gig, he's never just vanished like this. And what do you make of it? Now, with the floodgates of truth wide open, it's time to dive into the art of lying my ass off. To be honest, I'm not sure. But now that I think of it, he's changed over the past month. Become a lot more erratic than usual. Ready for my theory? I'm pretty sure he caught wind of your lot and decided to feed me to the flames while he made a run for it. Whether they're swallowing my story or they're just tired of my presence, it feels like I'm nudging them the way I want them. Not everyone's convinced, though. An unwitty pawn betrayed by her master. A likely story, suitable for the stage indeed, but in this context, if I may. Damn it, Patrick! Don't go getting yourself into. Baron's warning arrives a bit too late. Instantly, the other shifts their focus, fixing their eyes on the catif. With unmistakable hostility, it's clear they're not exactly fond of him. Since you're already disrupted the proceedings, you might as well say your piece. Mediator. Derek. Very well then. I'm inclined to believe her. At least in the aspects most significant to the interests of our allies. Thank you, you mysterious weirdo. As ever, your assertion remains devoid of substance. My guy's advice is pretty much always on point. His track record speaks for itself. The sheriff has a point that seems to hold water. Her sire might be the one at fault. She is essentially a non-entity, is she not? And nobody that slipped under the radar until, by a stroke of sheer bad luck, she got caught red-handed. To excuse the pun. When you give it another look, the evidence you have collected should indeed back up the claim quite convincingly. And what grounds your incorrect evaluation precisely? My judgment is shaped by your vast experience and simply tempered by reasoning and intuition. It changes little regarding the consequences she must face for her complicity in her sire's crimes. It's do or die. How about I serve you Renard's head on a silver platter in exchange for mine? Unscathed on my shoulders. Godar's stare pins me under silent disapproval, but he lets me, as the curly-haired asshole puts it, spin my arm. I know all his secret spots in this town. Bless the spots he wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I'm wired into his network. His contacts I got his playbook down and I can stay one step ahead of him with ease. Just give me a chance and we'll all be thanking our lucky stars by the end. They slip into a quiet introspection, or maybe they're just playing around of mental chess, trying to read each other's minds without uttering a word. I have reservations about this daring proposition, considering the potential fallout in this entire situation spirals out of control. Godar throws his hand up, clearly over dealing with my case. Capturing this whelp proved hardly a challenge. I wouldn't sweat the idea of catching her again. What's more, entrusting her with Castle resolves two issues at once. It swiftly eliminates her presence and enables us to prioritize genuine concerns. But someone has to keep a constant watch over her. Valerie, perhaps one of your... A batshit crazy idea burst into my mind. The kind of a gamble that could either turn out brilliantly or spectacularly implode. Let the dice roll. How about him? I jab my finger towards the quiet Katif. Pedrick? Was it? His expression shifts to one of utter confusion as he catches the subtle smirk of the council members. Surely you're not considering... This could play quite fervently, I must admit. Quite fervently indeed. Holy shit, it actually worked. Very well. Pedaric Conroy, I hereby appoint you as the agent caretaker of this ravenous neonite. I hate to break it to you, Sheriff, but this call is out of your turf. He's one of us anarchs. You know it well enough. Technically, when he took on the whole peacemaker rule of our cliques, he required a level of neutrality, so yeah? Godar redirects his gaze to the Katif. Your responsibility is to ensure she fulfills the assignment within 4 nights. Any slip-ups on her end will reflect on your record as well. Do we have an understanding? 4 nights. Not a whole lot, but better than nothing. But Derek's resigned nod mirrors exactly how I feel. Now, back to where we were. There was sudden disinterest in me as a clear get out of here signal. Seems like I managed to slide from one pit to another, but hey, I brought myself a little time, and in my world that's precious currency. Unless, of course, that Katif turns out to be a wild card. Alright, so we're done with that main story. So let's take a... No, I'm good. I don't need to take a break. Just let me stop for 1 second to get something to drink. My throat is killing me. Okay, so I got regular bottled water, and I got cherry Coke. One for taste, one for actual dehydration, and for my parched throat. Well, to be fair, the soda feels better on my throat, but it's technically good for you. Drink a soda first, followed behind by a sip of water. We got one option right now. Okay. Up in the air. Main quest. I bought myself some time to find Renard and scram out of the city before the Carmelia catches on. The only trouble is this Katif tick clinging to my back, which honestly kind of my own fault. I need to figure out how to shake him off. Okay, before we go back in, let's look at our glossary. We already know most of these terms from the last game. Let's look at some. Let's go over some. The Banu Hakim. The judges of the Banu Hakim are torn between their hereditary thirst for vampiric blood and their passion for justice. Stern advocators, they are fiercely devoted to upholding a moral code and embrace mortals capable of assisting in handling threats, enforcing laws and traditions, and punishing transgressors. The Monikers, the clan of the Hunt. Assassins, children of Hakim, Saracens, mediators, lawmen. Baron, basically the leaders of the anarchs. There could be a couple of barons in, I guess, a city or a town. The Bruja. The Bruja are the clan of radicals and troublemakers, embracing those willing to put someone in their place if the situation calls for it. Most of them see themselves as warriors with a cause, and these rebels are guided by their passion, strength, and dedication to their ideals, wherever they may be. Okay, Catif. Catifs are vampires without a clan. Distrusted by their peers, they are scorned because of their lack of lineage, but also fear for their unpredictability. Jacks of all trades, but masters of none. Each pander makes their own way in a society of the damned, free from both ancestry and expectations. The clanless, pandiers, orphans, trash, scum, freestylers. So there are vampires without a clan. So how do they function compared to other vampires? Do they have different weaknesses, different abilities? Do they not have any curses? How does that work? Chantilly, a traditional name for the Chimere headquarters in a city, usually part shelter, part library, and part laboratory. Court, the social system of the city's Carmelia kindred, resembling the feudal system of mortals. At the top is the prince, below them the members of the Primogene Council. Order in the domain is maintained by a sheriff. The gatherings are organized in secret sanctuaries known as Elysiums. Cryptolek, a specific cipher unique to each ravenous band that lets them communicate in code. Cali's Corte employs a modified hobo code, distinguished by the traditions of 3 lines over a dot, allowing only those in the known to understand the message behind the altar symbols. Burnout Elysium, final death when a vampire dies, fledgling newly created vampires, Bernals, Hunter, Kindred, Machiavellian, Neonite, a young kindred recently embraced but released from their sire's protection. Prince, a Carmelia vampire who asserts traditional territorial control within the sex domain, is to be a single borough or a entire city must be either impressive or cunning enough to be recognized as the leader. Alternatively, they could be just as palatable, merely being puppeteered by their court during their princedom. There we go. This is a new term. Ravenous. Masters of misdirection. The ravenous prefer not to fight or bleed for something they don't attain through subtler means. They can charm and vanish within the same mortal breath, and those once fooled quickly learn to question their very senses. When in the company of ravens, always on the move, the ravenous can never rest in the same place for long, lest their curse lights them on fire as they slumber. Oh wait, so they have to be So they have to be like constantly on the move? Huh. Regent is responsible for the tutelage of all other Tremere in the domain. While the region may not teach them personally, they must ensure all Tremere are being educated. The regent's other duties extend to the clan's protection in the domain and sometimes its representation on the Primogene Council. Scourge, an executor, subordinated directly to the sheriff with a panchart for eliminating catifs and thinbloods. The Anarch movement, originally called the Anarch Revolt, this sect is as old as the revolution against the Carmelia itself. All vampires who fall outside the tower's control are considered unbound, and the Anarch's movement is a small but visible subsection of the unbound who, rather than hide, have decided to fight back. The hospitality. Honor one another's domain. When thou comes to a foreign city, thou shalt present thyself to the one who ruleth there. Without the word of acceptance, thou art nothing. Keeping tabs on who is within the city has become difficult in the modern age of refugees and global citizens. While some princes erect walls or attempts to control the borders through political means, others give up on enforcing this law. The mystery. The mystery always has something to offer. This often cult-like recruits those able to employ temptation as a weapon. They embrace those with the will and means to sway, entrap, and ultimately liberate their targets. I'm sorry, I lost track. From wherever they seek the victim's possessions, alliances, or even faith. To the serpents, everything has a price. Alright, this one, I don't remember. This was in Cortez, New York. Thinbloods, neither holy vampires nor mortal. The ever-changing nature of the Dustborn invokes pity, jealousy, and fear in equal measure. Considered little more than trash by most vampires, the Thinbloods are banding together, leveraging their resistance to sunlight and the strange mercurial adaptability of their powers against their oppressors. Toridare traditions. 6 ancient traditions create the framework for governance among the Carmelia kindred. While they are open to interpretation in each domain, and some are more important than others, they are known to all Carmelia kindred. The first tradition, the Masquerade. The second tradition, the Domain. The third tradition, progeny. Fourth tradition, the Accounting. Hospitality, Destruction. Vitate, an archaic term for blood of a vampire. So on night 1, characters. Oh, the characters had their own little thing now. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's honestly that's kind of what the other 2 games were missing. We'll look at those later. Alright, let's go. You might not need air to nourish our vitae, but I still allow a sigh of relief when the doors to Elysium slam shut behind us. Talk about a crew of entitled assholes holed up in their ivory tower, sneering at kindred just scraping by to make dead ends meet. I hope they get a nice sharp stick to the foot. But hey, it's all good. My golden words and silver tongue managed to buy me some time to find Bernard and get the hell out of Dodge before those clowns catch on to what we've already hit the West Coast. The only hiccup for now is... Ow. Keep making that face at me and it might just stick that way. I don't know, I just want to give him the Olympia's voice. Keep making that face at me and it might just stick that way. quit staring. For good? Shut your eyes and trust me then. Oh yeah? Then maybe it's time you shut your eyes, pal, and let me navigate us to our destination. Just give it 10 counts before peeping. I would rather we didn't. He paused mid-sentence. Actually, on second thought, that might just top the charts as the worst suggestion I've been privy to tonight, and believe me, it has some heavy competition. Don't worry. There's more to come. I haven't played my final card yet. Stay optimistic. I whirl around his exasperate side, chasing after me. Be what may, this Catisse tick's gotta go. Look, the sun is about to rise. We can't pick up this little dance of ours again tomorrow night, okay? Let's get moving. My haven isn't even in this part of town. Hold on. What do you mean, your haven? Alright, hear me out. I get that this whole thing is a bit of a pain for the both of us. Trust me, I have no more desire to mind you than you have to be minded. Let's rewind for a second. You were the one who picked me out as Elysium and got us both into this mess. If I let you out of my sight, things will get proper unpleasant for me. And believe me, I am speaking from experience. But you will be torn to shreds by Kadar's hounds before they could say, oops. They'll sniff you out sooner rather than later. That is a stone cold fact. So, how about we skip the theatrics and you tag along to a place I know is safe? We can regroup and figure out our next move come nightfall. He stops mid-sentence, fingers crossed for whoever is the kindred version of a stroke. Maybe I could slip away and get to my RV. No, your RV is completely off the table. I got plenty of other options. Not a problem. I got a solid 7 other hideouts. I'm sure you do. Though, if they haven't seen your shadow in the last 6 months, I wager they no longer exist. Mind showing where they were? Hello? Is this the Secret Service speaking? Like, I spill my shit to you. Just so you know, my network is spiraling and meticulously crafted. Think, a global spiderweb. Sounds more like you're the fly caught within, believing it's your very kingdom. Meanwhile, the fat spider at the center awaits its chance patiently. Yeah, keep channeling your inner Keats. Gosh. He stays silent for a moment, likely thinking he gained the upper hand in our verbal spar. I still count as my win. Nevertheless, he starts yapping again soon after. In any case, we need a place to rest and my haven is the safest choice. I really hate to resort to violence, but don't presume I won't drag you there if the need arises. It's your call. Every time I don't get a say, it somehow turns out to be my call. Come on, what do you think I'll do? Run away? Obviously. Oh, ye little faith. Will I try to bail on your Christmas night? You sticking around might just count as a true holiday miracle. And no, I don't blank on holiday miracles. If you're under the impression I let you out of my sight, then you are not paying attention. Come on, let's not dilly-dally. Dilly-dally? Did they embrace him in a Dickens novel? Talk about being charming. All right. After you. Stubborn as I am, turns out Mr. Thin and Mean over there is just as immovable. Arguing seems futile. Time for a different approach. I toss him a thoughtful glance, nosing him leisurely fiddling with one of those ugly rings adorning every considerable part of his hands. What a jerk. My gang would eat him alive. But I can deal with him on my own just fine. All I need is a little bit of inspiration. After a quick look around, a couple of schemes start to take shape. That bounce leads to fool. Hey, how about magic trick? Let's play hungry as hell. Ooh. Let's do a little joker. How about a magic trick? Lifting his ring might be a bit ambitious when he's so wired, but I got other tricks up my sleeve. I fished out a ring from my belt bag, a trinket I nicked off some sucker back in Chicago. It's a piece of junk, really. No pawn shop would glance twice at it, but you never know when a useless thing might come in handy. I clear my throat awkwardly and evoke an appropriately embarrassed face. So, what I'm trying to say is, I'm sorry for getting snappy earlier. Rough night. You get it. Well, an apology isn't quite enough, but it's a start. Yeah, we got off the wrong foot. Let's start again. Name's Callie. With that, I send it my hand, and it hovers in the frigid air, waiting for its response. After a brief pause, she reaches out and shakes it. Pandara Conroy. I take this as my cue, clasping his hand warmly with both of mine, shaking with all the vigor I can muster. Nice to meet you, Pandaric. Fancy seeing a magic trick? I beg your pardon? I flashed him the ring with a nasty smile, watching it as his face turns a shade paler. Before he has a chance to check his own fingers, I take a big swing. Want your precious ring back? Then fetch! I hurl the ring into the distance, listening as it clinks off a wall. As that Katif dashes off, I seize a moment and zoom away in the opposite direction, pushing my legs as fast as they'll go. I have no idea where I'm going, but solitude sounds perfect right now. Even after everything tonight, it looks like I'm on a roll. Must be the ravenous charm working its magic. I instantly regret my choice the moment I dash into an alleyway. A dodgy crew handling crates that seem to be filled with combat gear snap their attention towards me. And the moment I make my entrance, and they sense seeing my human speed. Shit. Caleb, look! Her again. Seriously, what the hell? Once in a fluke, twice is awfully fucked up coincidence, and I seen too much to believe in those. It's that raggedy bitch I told you I wasn't seeing things. Now, not now, for fuck's sakes. I got eyes. Squad, to your positions. They begin to circle me. And changing nods. It's only then I notice their tactical gear and the unmistakable outline of a wooden stake. Is this the infamous Special Affairs Division? Seriously, fuck my unlife. Renard was spot on. I'm always too quick to pop the champagne. Back off. Would you? This isn't going to end well for you. Shut your filthy gob, leech. He whips out a stake to compensate for his shaky tone. I'm not one for head-on-head combat, but is way past the time for cunning. From the sides, now! They come at me all at once with an attack surprisingly uncoordinated for such a well-equipped team. That disarray is the only reason I may survive this. As a flash of heat surges through me, their movement seems to slow down. I grab the first one by the arm as he swings a knife at me, drawing my nails into his armpit. Everything turns a shade of red I find disturbingly pleasant. Next, I leap and spin, taking the squeaky girl down with a kick that leaves her neck at a grotesque angle, her body crumbling to the ground. Their leader waves his stick in hesitation, searching for an opening. Bring it on, you undead whore! I don't give him the chance. In an instant, I'm at his throat, tearing and ripping. His blood washes over my skin like a hot shower. It feels comforting. As the chaos fades, there I am, perfectly unharmed, amid the carnage sweeps up in the rush of victory. Tonight is definitely my night. But then reality strikes, quite literally. Knocked onto my knees and suddenly dazed, I scramble to get up. I need to get out before the Katif catches up. As I try to rise, a kick sends me sprawling. Another thug, one that I missed, sits on top of me, stick in hand, aimed straight at my heart. I react instantly, bucking my hips and searching for his elbow, ready to tear and rip, but I can't. And I don't have to. Suddenly, hands encircle the thug's neck, twisting into a complete circle, reminiscent of some horror movie owl. He drops beside me, lifeless as the Katif casually retrieves the stake. You lost something. Piss off. I believe thank you is the phrase you're looking for. You should be glad I fetched the ring in record time. He extends his hand with grace, and then there's a part of me itching to grab it, to pull at it, and literally take him down a peg. But I let the moment pass. The brawls worn me out, and down's creeping up on us. I refuse his help, pushing myself up with a mix of pride and fatigue. Why don't you hold onto the stake? Consider it a memento of the time you nearly got taken out by a few hunters and needed my intervention. A slice of humble pie, if you will. I tucked the stake into my belt bag, feeling more awkward about it than I cared to show. For the record, I had it under control, but wait, hunters? Of course. You didn't seriously think it was the SAD, did you? He let a chuckle. The first one I've heard from him. It feels out of place, I think. You know, do you take it personally, but if it were the SID, you have been taken out before you even realized there was a threat? They're too well organized, too professional. These guys, however... He sweeps his hands around, gesturing towards the fallen hunters. Well, they haven't quite mastered the element of surprise. Still, running to that many in one place, Qatar mentioned something about a locust swarm back at Elysium, but come on, twice in one night? That's more than just bad luck. Indeed. New York is nowhere near as safe as for our kind as it once was. This is not your typical hunter behavior. It's anomaly, and its source is so unknown. Until we figure it out, I strongly advise against sprinting like a demented cheetah, biting whatever within arm's reach, or showing off your unique powers. For your own safety, assume you're under constant surveillance. Choose your moment wisely. It's the second time I'm hearing this kind of warning tonight. Maybe I should actually start paying attention. And you might want to rethink your attempt to ditch me. I might not arrive in time to save you the next time you get in trouble. The next time? He seems to have me all figured out. Alright, maybe sticking with you might have some benefits. Am I hearing things, or was that a compliment? Don't let it get to your head. I don't expect a repeat now about that haven of yours. Where a Katif lies low. The sun's about to rise, and I had more than enough for one night. All I need is to sink into the deep, dark void of rest. And tonight, Pyderic's Haven is the place. Oh, shit! My poor controller. Oh, poor baby. Oh, there's two options? Pyderic's Haven and the Bronx. Stranger in the night. In New York City, you never know when you'll bump into into the kings of all douchebags. But honestly, it feels like this happens every goddamn time you step foot outside. Yeah, why not do a detour? Silence usually doesn't bother me. It often changes. Is often a chance to collect my scattered thoughts, which, let's be honest, are usually all over the damn place. It can also be a big flashy sign that I fucked up and that I got scrambled to bounce back from the mess I made. But this kind of silence, oh, this is some golden opportunity right here. One in which I throw in the towel, stop giving a shit, and just enjoy watching the lanky one squirm like he's got an army of invisible fists going to town on his brain. Of course, it doesn't last. Not with that all ball in the distance eyeing us. Christ, check out that guy. Huh? That bootleg Wesley Snipes right there. Look. I talked bootleg Wesley Snipes. I was just thinking about Blade. I toss a subtle glance towards the guy decked out in black. But the longer I stare, the more I think, oh shit. You think he's one of them? A hunter? What? Of course not. I mean, I get that the group we dealt with wasn't exactly a think tank, but out here in broad nightlight and dressed like a walking cliche. He rouses off so fast. I almost bet he's trying to distract me. It's just a stranger in the night. Pay him no mind. Yeah, sure. My stranger danger sense the skin crawling sensation of an unfamiliar presence getting too close has indulged since I was embraced, and now I've got better defenses than mere pepper spray. The way he looks at me as we cross path is disgustingly indescribable. And then he speaks. Evening, ma'am. Evening, ma'am. There's something eerie about the tone of his voice. I nod automatically and shoot Paderick a very look. He signals to keep walking. Mr. Conroy, evening to you. Fought the night, huh? Fuck. This isn't just some rando then. The way he drops Pendark's last name stops us in our tracks, like he's cast a binding spell. Quite the night indeed. We're kind of in a rush though. I see. I'll be brief then. Mr. Conroy, your obligations. I'm here on behalf of our shared acquaintance. Gently reminding you of what's at stake. The circumstances rapidly change, as you're aware, I'm sure. The smugness in his voice is grating enough to make me grind my teeth. But surprisingly, it's Paderick who loses his cool, not me. His tone gets abrasive, a side of him I'd never seen before. We just met him. But then I've known him 3 hours. I just said that. Well, I'm well aware, and don't you worry about passing that along. I managed without a proxy so far, and I don't plan on needing one now. Incredibly, that's not up to you to decide. Christ, I didn't sign up for an evening of snarky back and forth. Smack him? Oh, shut up. Let's not give us yet. Jesus, man, are you gunning for MVP of the douchebag leagues? Cut it out. This doesn't concern you. Well, throwing shade without even making eye contact? The urge to lay into him is stronger than my common sense. Oh, fuck. Let it go, Callie. I'm not done here, and clearly this asshole isn't either, judging by his puffed up chest. But suddenly, he's all chill, like we didn't just have a moment. Enjoy the night, Mr. Conroy. Ma'am. Then he locks eyes with me. Better watch out for our dingy allies. They're crawling with vermin, as you already know. His words echo in my mind as we head towards Panderic's safe house. At first, I thought it was a threat, but now I'm not so sure. How the fuck does he know? Does gossip really spread around that quickly here? Who the hell was that? Just an old contact of mine. Nothing to worry about. And he goes back to the twink. Right, and now the fuck did he know about our running with the hunters? I don't know, Callie. Okay, maybe it took a wild guess. It's not exactly a stretch to run into trouble here, especially now, especially with you around. Yeah, he's clearly shaken by the whole thing. How intriguing. Look, I'm sorry. It's probably nothing to lose sleep over. Let's just get moving. All right. I give a nod. Not like there is much choice with him being all jitters and no candor. Looks like my dear Katif sitting on a pile of secrets. Considering the vibe of that jackass we just dealt with, the mind reels at the possibilities. But then again, what are we if not the secrets we keep? The walk feels endlessly long. I try to focus on the task of locating Renard, but my thoughts just won't line up right. Definitely not a promising end to the night. Before I know it, we are already here. Already there. This is our stop. Let's head inside. Dawn is nearly upon us. He steps through the door first, but leaves it open for me. I see it as a slight sign of trust, or maybe I'm just too exhausted to be on the lookout for tricks. Home, sweet home. It's kind of nice. This is old. There's an old feeling to it. Very, very cozy. Peeking into a Kendra's haven is kind of like trying to read their diary, assuming they have one, of course. The Vampire's Diary. Our van, which I share with my crew, might tell a story of covert operations, daring escapes, and tight-knit camaraderie for those with a flair for drama, that is. To anyone else, it could just seem like a mobile hideout for a few smugglers. Granted, I haven't exactly been a guest in many havens, but this one is particularly shouting its love affair with books and a certain, let's say, relaxed approach to tidiness. And that Parderic probably didn't expect to have company, like, ever. Every inch of it is covered in books, papers, and random notes. A wild mosaic of ideas from the mundane to the outright unhinged. I swear there are even scribbles of napkins in the mix. Parderic seems a little flustered that I caught his haven in such disarray. He rushes to clean up, picking up an armful of paper along the way. Make yourself at home. The couch is all yours. At least the windows are still open, have been secured with steel shutters. All in all, the place feels rather cozy. A pretty decent haven, I think. Just a tad too lonely for my taste. I'm gonna check out the book collection. That's exactly what I do. First thing I'm in the first is I was gonna check out their library. Among the clutter, a vast collection of James Joyce stands out, surrounded by other books that feel more like homework than leisure reading. Padaric's choice of literature, definitely on the no fun side. The stacks of papers he's clutching is kept under wraps and impossible to read, but the one littering the rest of the space, they're up for grabs. I stretch my neck to get a closer look, ditching any attempts to be sneaky, only to find some disjointed snippets about history, voices, oracles, and the like. I shoot him a disappointed frown, only to be met with his painfully blank gaze. Clearly, someone's got their poker face down pat. A history buff. Don't take this the wrong way, but you totally give off that vibe. Why would I take it the wrong way? I give a casual shrug, and he offers a smile in return. It's not exactly brimming with joy, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Get some rest. We got a busy night ahead of us. It's hard to put up a fight against common sense, especially when you're running on empty. I give him a vague wave, settle onto the couch amid a few stray papers, and let myself sink into the deep, dark void of rest. A few hours prior. What's that? What are we gonna see? The steady drone of machinery blends with the Tremere Laboratory intermission. The steady drone of machinery blends with the aroma of ancient dust and robust alchemy, conjuring a palatable atmosphere that teases the senses. It's a relentless reminder of the raw power in action, a sensation that never leaves you no matter how far away you go. Is a common theme across Tremere Labs, or did she add a personal twist just for my sake? Bah, that's besides the point tonight. Tonight, the stakes are sky high. No room for getting sidetracked. I'm only going to ask this once. You do understand all the specifics, correct? The procedure and the risk that will come with it? My gaze drifts to my necklace, the symbol of my cause. I nod in silent agreement. Make no mistake, should you attempt to violate our agreement, I have my methods to track you down. Believe me, that would be far less pleasant than what's coming next. Ooh, mysterious. Who are we right now?
Let's just get this over with, shall we?
I'm instantly hit with a pain so intense, it feels like my flesh is being torn asunder, and no matter how much I try, I can't black out for even the briefest moment of blissful retrieve. My consciousness clings on, as stubborn as I am, as if making me pay for my plentiful sins, or paving the road for the new ones to come. But the agony is worth it, and so is the prize that's coming after. What are that? Are they making the vampires super soldiers? What was that? What was that? Let's look at some of the new glossary terms. Haven, the place where a vampire resides during the day. Hound, a deputy subordinate directly to the sheriff. Special Affairs Division, also called SAD or SAD. This FBI division is committed to neutralizing the kindred threat. To get their targets, SAD uses not only its influence in law enforcement, but also their extensive case files on anti-kindred activities, and some finance and detective work. Commandeer Kindred gives them impressive economic freedom from other global entities involved in what vampires call the Second Inquisition. The Embrace, the act of transforming a mortal into a vampire. A vampire kindred drains and replaces a victim's blood with some of their own to pass on their clan's curse. A newly embraced vampire is always one generation higher than their sire. Where are we? Oh, got hit in the night. Yes. Night 2. December 2024, 6 nights till New Year's. Again and again, it's the same sensation. A sudden plunge into frigid waters, snapping me back to reality. Not exactly a graceful awakening, more of a shit, here we go again kind of moment. In the midst of this routine, there's always that definitive first touch, the thing that jolts me back to consciousness. This time, it's the gentle rustle of pages turning, a subtle nudge back to the waking world. I crack open an eye and look around. In his delicate armchair, Padarik sits bent over a heavy tome, pencil in hand, etching thoughts onto the yellow pages. His gaze never leaves the text, but he must have sensed me awaken. Good evening. I hope you slept well. Yeah, kinda. Kinda. As well as one can when their home's been taken away. God, I had so many cushions. Brought them myself, you know. There was even a little fox embroidered on one. How very quaint. I would never have pictured you as one for nostalgia. Yeah, well, you don't know me at all, so I suppose that's fair. So, did I snooze through anything noteworthy? He jots down one last note and carefully closes the book before finally glancing up at me, face unyielding and cold as ice. That would depend on your definition of noteworthy, but I have been pondering our next steps. Oh, do tell. I have been working for the Anarchs for the past 2 years and forged friendly relations with some of them, Torok included, although in this particular case, I would rather avoid his presence. You sure? Quiet days much? I'm with you on that one. That makes the two of us. Judging by his sour face last night, he was not happy with me snacking you away like that. Well, I am a help with him in the current situation. Torok is more than occupied with the going on within his turf at the moment. He may have neither time nor patience for a visit. Yeah. All right. So, what do you propose then? The allegations against your sire. See, I happen to know someone who used to be deeply entrenched in the darker corners of the Red Market, an anarch, working not too far from here. If Castle truly wields as much influence as the court suggests, my contact will offer substantial aid. Substantial aid, you say? Wow, can't argue with that, except it's a no-go, amigo. His face scrunches up in surprise, and he repeats the words as if trying to taste them for poison. No go, amigo? Look, I get it. You have friends and contacts aplenty, but so do I. Also, I know Renard Castle like the back of my hand. We've been dealing all around the city on and off for almost 2 years. Excuse me. Probably should hold off on the soda. There's gotta be someone here who knows where he bailed. But Derek furrows his brows, waiting for me to elaborate further. This is real quandary. Two little angels whisper steadily into my ears, one having fallen spectacularly into the pits of hell, while the other has only accentuated vaguely downward, spouting completely contradictory notions. In the end, I ignore them both, as I often do, and choose a third option, the best option, one where I don't have to reveal much at all. There's this one guy who hangs around Harley Quinn. Ellie Sansark. Apparently he's one of the few kindred that didn't burn burned with hatred for Renard, so it must mean they were getting along. He tilts his head slightly at the name of my, well, let's call it contact. Eli Sankrik? The serpent? Why? Do you have something against them? Do you know what the ministry? Never mind that. Do you have the slightest inkling about what Sanskrit's capable of? Oh, I'm not fond of that look. The one filled with pity, but somehow I can't seem to bring out a credible lie to spite him. Go on. Enlighten me. To put it bluntly, only in the most desperate situations would anyone with an ounce of sanity consider seeking out Eli Sanskrit. Perfectly, given my circumstances, I can go find him now, have a little chat, and be back in no time. We could go find him, but it's far from the best source of action. At the moment, Sanskrit is known to be extremely dangerous and territorial. We should not take him lightly. I propose we go to the Anarchs first. At least there, we will not be in danger of losing our heads. You're being so dramatic. We're gonna be fine. What's the worst that can happen? I believe us literally losing our heads is the most definitely in the realm of possibility. We could split the party, you know. Again, we most certainly could not see, I think. Sweet Lord, this guy. Oh, time to kick things up a notch. I officially weighed a coin out of my belt bag. Whoops, sorry. I think I reached for my limit there. How about we just flip a coin? Heads, we go to Sanskrit. Tails, we go to Harlem. Harlem. Okay, Harlem. You mean the Bronx? I hate when people actually listen to what I say. Fine. Call it already. I see him hesitate, eyes going blank for a moment. His hands almost involuntarily crawls towards his ring. Spinning it around a couple of times, squinting at it, I finally manage to make out that it's a dice ring. One of those real dorky ones that D&D nerds wear when they want to look their silliest. Finally, Padarik looks back at me, gaze as sharp as ever. All right, but you call it. Suit yourself, buddy. It's your funeral. I'm gonna go with Tails, because he's called Serpent. Tails. I lower my head to hide a little smile. The weighted coin glimmers in the warm light of the floor lamp as it soars through the air, spinning quicker than the wheel of fate. So what's Tails again? Heads we go to the Serpent, tails we go to Harlem. Okay. It lands safely on my outstretched hand and I flip it onto my palm, showing it confidently to Parderic without even a glance. He looks at it and smiles up at me like the cat that got the cream. Heads. Fancy that. Seems we are all going to the Bronx after all. What? Impossible. Truly impossible. This has never happened before. Treacherous coin. Have I not been good to you? Have I not kept you safe in my pocket all these years? Is that how you repay me? I mean, what the actual fuck? Who is he? Did David Blaine finally freeze to death and turn to this lanky trickster? How did he? Best 2 out of 3? Come on, we can take my car. Well, shit. That's one bet I lost. Yeah, your car. Wait, you mean the black rattle trap out front? It's perfectly serviceable vehicle whose minimal size allows for. You know what? How about we just go and you can enjoy your minuscule vehicle in silence. because we had no other options. So, night 2. A is for Anarchy, the Bronx. Stupid coin. Gotta take the L, I guess. Not my ideal move, but tagging along with a Katif might get me some answers. Plus, having seen Turok's reaction at Elysium, those Anarchs might have a soft spot for Parderic and share more than they would have if I asked them myself. I need to look how I was supposed to pronounce that. Car is indeed a perfectly serviceable vehicle, and that's legally all I'm allowed to say. I'm having a blast shuffling through all the ancient cassette tapes he's collected, judging his taste in music out loud. Another Bohemian Rhapsody? Seriously? Hey, you shut the hell up about Bohemian Rhapsody. That song's a fucking classic. I thought I only had one of them. Terrific! He says with the strangest face I can't help but burst into laughter. God forbid you get with the times. But how about a legit car radio, you know, to update your playlist? Says the one sporting a Walkman on her belt. Touche, I guess. Still, I do have a soft spot for a queen. It never gets old. True that. True that. I'm a killer queen. Just saying, you're missing out on a whole lot if you ignore stuff from the 21st century. The music scene's been booming. Ever heard of K-pop? You're giving off some serious Sangin energy, my guy. He's allowed to like retro stuff. He eyes me with sudden interest. Do you think any of them have released cassette tapes? Okay, he's an audio guy, an analog guy. He just likes he really loves analog. Aside from our contrasting views on modernity, our little journey proceeds smoothly, too smoothly. In fact, a violent itch grows within me to tease, scratch, prod, and I can't help but give in. Let's go ask about him. You said you've been in New York for 2 years now? That sounds about right. And how's that been for you? Do you like it here? I do. What's with all these questions? Killing time, mostly. We can play I Spy instead if you prefer. I'd rather not. Okay, how do you end up with the Anarchs? Will you believe me if I said... What? I'm sorry, what the fuck? Will you believe me if I said it was... Oh, I have bad luck reading words. I saw it says accent. I thought I said ancient for a second. I thought he said, will you believe me if I said I was an ancient? He said accident. He's an accident. He was an accident. Like everybody's an accident. Maybe. What kind of accident? I landed in New York about 2 years ago, shortly after I managed to save a handful of kindred, mostly from the Anarch Verity. Although I do believe there was some Camarilla in the mix. It earned me what I would call tentative trust from Turok, and not much else, as you might have assisted back in Elysium. Wow, how noble. So how did you go from kindred hero to Camarilla goofer? There's a pause as if he generally considering the tragedy of his unlife. The trajectory of his own unlife. I have a knack for playing peacemaker, apparently, and while Turok considers it an asset, the Camarilla thinks it is a chink in the armor. Compromise isn't really in their vocabulary, you know. Oh, I definitely do know. But if you say some Camarilla kindred as well, why not start with them and curry some favor? They're the fat cats in New York, right? I am a captive, Callie. My kind is not exactly welcome around the ivory tower. A rare feeling of guilt washes over me, even though there is no bitterness in his voice. After a brief, uncomfortable silence, I abruptly change the subject and lead the conversation onto a slightly different track. Tell me more about the Anarchs, anything interesting about the Carmelia, any major players. Ooh, yeah, how about this? So we have the Carmelia and the Anarchs. That's pretty much standard fare. Anybody else to keep an eye out for? No. His response is so swift, it borders on phony, but his face remains as impassive as always. Right. How about cool stories about the Anarchs? You seem to get well with them the most. He hesitates briefly. His hands, while placed firmly on the steering wheel, meet the middle as his fingers start nervously fiddling with the dice ring. Deep down, the logical part of me knows I should back off. But the readily available part, the one right beneath my cold, dead skin, lurches at this opportunity to sneak straight into the vault of secrets. Come on, I'm dying of boredom here. You must have some wild tales to tell. Something not found in your pile of books? Fidgeting with the ring stops. His hands return to the perfectly sensible 9-3 on the wheel. No wild tale, really. I mostly just talk to people. Riveting. What kind of people? Thin bloods, for the most part. I was particularly interested in one called Sana, but mentioning her intends to shut conversations down, probably because she met her final death 4 years back, at the hands of the sheriff, no less. Quadar. Wow, she must have really stirred the pot. Well, she did go on a mortal killing spree, but I'm not the one to judge whether or not the punishment fit the crime. What? Nor am I. It didn't fit the crime? Nor am I. I think it suits us. Well, I know a thing or two about walking the line between right and wrong, so I don't think I'm any place to judge her either. Still, what pushed her to do it? He hesitates again. Why so secretive about a thin blood going rogue? She claimed she was acting under orders from Kane, urging her to kill. My eyebrows shoot up, waiting for him to continue. He allegedly told Sana the end of the world is nigh, and somehow that devolved into a killing spree? And she never questioned why the creator of our whole species would specifically choose her? Just straight up went on a rampage? For some reason, this perfectly innocent, remarkable remark really gets on my nerves. Look, I'm just telling you what I've heard. I never met Sana myself. I just find her condition fascinating. Hey, no need to get worked up. I glanced at your research notes. I know you're really into the inner voices stuff. I'm not judging, it's just... We can end this conversation anytime you want, really. It's just that you have some really niche hobbies, you know? May I interest you in, don't know, croquetting or something? It's a lot less intense than chasing crazies. The kindred might not need air, but Paderic sighs so profoundly. It probably echoes into the very afterlife, or whatever else Sana went after meeting her final death. I'm not sure what I expected from an anarch outpost. Okay, we're in the Bronx. A is for anarchy. I'm not sure what I expected from an anarch outpost in one of the most densely populated cities in America. Maybe a sewer... Maybe a sewer hideaway sitting right next to the local rats. Maybe a few Prohibition-era cellars linked by a web of secret corridors. Maybe even a chaotic squat in a dilapidated brownstone. But a grimy auto repair shop with a bold red sign proudly declaring it's Mato's place. That's definitely wasn't on my list. Is it about your car? Can you read? Are we lost? Are you sure this is a spot? I can't ask for directions or something. Ouch. The silent treatment Derek parks carefully, checking the side mirror to see if he's aligned perfectly within the curb. Finally, with a satisfied nod, he turns the engine off. Let's go. And he gets out of the car just like that. I follow, of course, not because he told me to, but, well, hanging solo in a car at night gets real boring real fast, even with Queen dang in the background. Ooh, okay, so it is an auto shop. Where are we? Okay, so same line. Mato, are you there? I fully expected company, but I still flinched when a huge, burly kindred steps out from the shadows, quieter than a mouse. His grime-covered arms are all to give Paderic a bear hug. He stops himself in the very last moment, either from plain common sense or because I'm there. Okay. Looks cool. Paddy, looking good, my man. What can I do for you? Need me to take a look at that old clunker of yours? Paddy? Clunker? Oh, this is gonna be good. I grin at Paddy, expectedly only to be met with his gaze full of discontent. My clunker is in top shape, thank you, Mato. Besides, I can see you are rather busy tonight. So I hope you will have a moment for a few questions, though it won't take long. Mato erupts into laughter, patting Paddy on the shoulder with a hand as big as a dinner plate. Any mortal would get pulverized by a friendly little pat like that. This gentle giant is surely something else. Anytime, anything for you, my man. And speaking of, who's this you brought? Mato's gaze cuts right through me, his hawkish eyes surprisingly cool and sharp, despite his rugged exterior. A split second passes before I realize he's sizing me up and that I'm coming up short. Mato probably wouldn't spare me a second glance if it weren't for Paderic. Mato, meet Callie. She's got in a bit of a situation with the Ivory Tower, you see. Well, to put it in short, her execution is on hold, provided she delivers the council her sire's head on a silver platter. Mato lets out a long whistle, his eyes gaining a touch of warmth and, dare I say, rushing respect. Damn. What's your sire accused of? And that's kind of what we're trying to piece together. Ever come across a lick you goes by Renard Castle? Renard, huh? Can't say it rings a bell. What's the steal? Blood trade, among other things. Paderic says it quietly, sharply, with no hesitation, and I swear I see a bit of vitae drain from Mato's face. He almost drops a dirty rag he's been fiddling with ever since we got here. A tense silence fills the air, stretching like an endless rubber band, thankfully, just as I'm a second away from blurting out some nonsense to break it. Mato speaks up. I left that shit behind, man. You know that. I know. Believe me, we're not here to dredge up the past. We just need a direction. Nothing more. Nothing less. Surely, there is someone who's still in the loop, someone who might have heard some rumors. Mato falls silent, avoiding Paderic's eyes. Internally, I'm giving Paderic a standing ovation. I mean, I'm well aware I've misjudged my Catif's caretaker, but damn if I'm not he's not a wire puller. Maybe he could even teach me a thing or two. I get it. It's a difficult situation for you, but I was really hoping you could help me out here. You know, I would not hesitate to reciprocate, as I have in the past. Yeah, I know. He seems more resigned than irritated, but still refused to speak. I refuse to speak. Eyes downcast, body language borderline deer in headlights. There must be some juicy history between these two, and I make sure to remember that info for later. Pyderic shoots me a quick look, but before he can double down on the guilt tripping, I flash my most charming grin and step forward. You see, I've only known Patty here for what, a single night? Turns out that's more than enough to figure out he's pretty good at killing the vibe when he puts his mind to it. That earns me an outraged glare from the Katif, which I cheerfully ignore, and an unexpected chuckle from Mato. I count my blessings and push on. Look, I don't know the first thing about you. The whole blood trade drama or whatever, that's none of my business. I'm not about to dig in your dirt. Survival's the game we're all playing, right? Throwing Renard quote out there is kind of cheap, but it tends to work like a charm. So I'll back off. Plus, I'm in a spot where I really can't afford to have anyone else in this town be pissed. Be pissed off at me. Yeah, gotcha. It's just that. No need to spell it out for me. Gnarly past are sort of my thing. You know, let's just drop the whole shebang. Aight? He nods hesitantly, and I'm not sure if he caught on to my attempt to win him over. I really hope he didn't, because I've already scanned his workshop and caught a bait or two. I can feed him to keep him on the hook. Let's over appreciate some of his stuff. Let's see him feel enthusiast in me. Let's not go for the obvious flattering. Let's go this one. Hey, you're in a garage, yeah? Got any spare hydraulic jacks lying around? My leveling system completely bailed on me a few nights back. Leveling system? Leveling system. That's a new one. Didn't figure you for an RV type. What's your ride? I mean, it's kind of start its life as a Class C Mini Winnie, but after years of messing with it and adding stuff, it's basically a custom built now. Oh, and it's a 6-wheeler. I let out a whistle so clear it's almost musical. Modified chassis, huh? Color me intrigued. I'd love to get a look at that beast. Maybe it's just a simple fix for the jack, like some wiring gone bad. No power getting through. Nope, check that out already. When those jacks decide it's game over, there's no coming back. It's not a big deal, really. I just hate having anything break on me when I'm out about, you know? I do not know car lingo. I have no idea what they're talking about. Tell me about it. I used to spend a lot of time on the road myself. Yeah? What's your haunt? Duluth, Minnesota. Been ages since I went back, though. Why's that? Oh, you know, stuff besides responsibilities, and then I sort of gave up on it. Well, if you ever hit with a sudden wave of nostalgia, I could swing by and pick you up after I'm done with the Carmelia bullshit, of course. It might be Hope playing tricks on me, but he seems more at ease now. Maybe even warmed up to me by a degree or two. Well, Class C. That's your haven, right? Right on. I fully decked sun-proof steel curtains and all. Reliable and minty fresh mobile haven. Damn, I really need to see that masterpiece sometime. Give me a few nights to sort my stuff out and I'll show you all his quirks. He cracks a natural smile, looking both wistful and excited. You know what? I might take you up on that offer. Deal. Just keep those fingers crossed for me, all right? I have got to navigate my own way out that Carmelia mess, remember? I gleefully sift through Mato's treasure, pretending I don't see him watching me like a hawk, clearly fighting a vicious internal battle. But in the end, neither of us breaks our silent standoff. Patty! It's just Patty now. He's just Patty. It's time we head out. We still need to find someone who can actually give us some answers. Sorry to bother you, Mato, and thanks for your time. Oh, that's cold. Even by Patty standards, but it sets me up perfectly. I smile brightly at Mato and wave a little. Farewell, gentle. Yeah, well, flirting. Goodbye, Mato. Look after this little Shangri-La of yours, okay? I turn around to leave and I quietly count the steps. But before I reach 3, Mato curses under his breath and speaks up. Hold up. Patty shoots me a meaningful look, but it's gone by the time we both turn back to the friendly giant. Mato's gnawing at his bottom lip and twisting the rag between his fingers. Yes? I really am out of the business, Patty. I know, Mato. Still, some whispers find their way to my ears. Nobody likes gossip more than a buzzard-up kindred. Ain't that the truth? Usually comes in real handy, too. Yeah, so there's this thin-blood alchemist. Skylar is her name, I think. Hangs around at Sunny's a lot. Sunny's? Empire of the Sun. It's a local anarch dive. Yeah, exactly. Sunny's. If anybody knows anything about the blood trait, it's her. She's the only albino around too, so you won't mistake her for none. Thank you, Mato. That is all we need. I owe you big time. Who knows, you might have saved my skin there. Don't mention it. Still, we should get out. Take care. Whoa. Is this Mia? Yeah, it's Mia! Not so fast, runt. What's with the kindred in this city and their love for lurking? Or is it me who's losing edge? Miss Sorrento? What a pleasure, totally. The air crackles with their mutual glares. The Patty's stoic, hers livid. Mato waves at her awkwardly, to which she responds with a curt nod. Me? I might as well be invisible to her. Taruk needs you. Now. Why? I came here to tell you, not to debate you. Teeth. Figure it out on your own. Patty tries to hide his frustration, but his jaw is set and his shoulders tight. Fine. Let's get moving, Callie. I don't think you heard me right. Truck summoned you. Your ravenous pup is not invited. She turns her heel and walks off into the night. The cluttered car shop suddenly feels a touch more welcoming, as if starlight broke through after a storm. Mato gives Pederic another one of those awkward shoulder pats, but it does have a relaxing effect on him, or at least it stops him erratically spinning the ring. Who's a bitch? I mean, don't get me wrong. The company I usually keep is far from nice, but damn, if she's not the bitchiest of them all. Yeah, kinda. Name's Mia, Taruk's enforcer. Sort of big fish around here. Bigger than Taruk sometimes. Oh my god, I can't believe that. Bigger than Taruk sometimes. Easy, Patty. You won't want her catching wind of that. Patty clears his throat in a useless usually mortal manner. Right, I believe that it's our cue to go. Thanks again, Mato. Don't mention it. And hey, you're welcome back anytime. Both of you. You got it. Later. Patty Ganges. Nas? Oh, grinds like grinds his teeth so loudly that I can hear it good 5 feet away. He's spinning his ring in such a violent and erratic manner. For a brief, bizarre moment, I think he's gonna rip his finger off. So I make a brilliant, as always, decision to lighten the mood. I believe it was famous British poet Percy Shelley who said, and I quote, "Damn, this weather so fine, it blows my mind." What? He definitely never said that. How do you know? Do you remember every single thing he ever wrote? Ever? Well, no, but there you go then. I'm liking her. I'm liking her. I am happy to report that my efforts seem to have worked, or at least Patty straightens up and puts his hand in his pocket instead of mating them with the twisting ring. Still, who knows what his little claws are doing to the lining of his coat. So, what's the plan now? I have to go see Turk. Yeah, I gathered, but scary enforcer lady made it clear I wasn't invited to the party. You'll just have to wait in the car then. Look, as much as I consider your perfectly serviceable car to be excellent company, we both know I can't just sit around and do nothing. Then I'll ask someone to keep an eye on you. It should not take too long. Bullshit. You and your endless debates. I'll be old and gray before you come back, and that's not even an option anymore. Seriously, you handle Taruk and I'll head over to Sunny's to look for that Skylar girl. That's not happening. Oh, come on. I've been the very model of temperance tonight. We've only been away for a mere hours. Splitting hairs. I'm heading to Sunny's to wait for you there. Scout's honor. He sighs, rubbing entirely at his eyes. If we only had some means of long-distance communication at hand. Can you imagine what we could do if we were able to hear our voices from miles apart? Alas, reality is much more cruel, at least under Camarilla rules. We could always try using pigeons. New York's got no shortage of them. Oh, so you're a comedian now. Hilarious. A shade of amusement crosses Patty's face, but he manages to swiftly suppress it. Look, it seems we're out of options. Here, you'll have to come with me and wait for a bit. I'll figure out what Trug wants from me, and then... He trails off mid-sentence and stares blankly into the distance. Hands joining together to spin his ring. I wave my hand in front of his face, but he doesn't even flinch. Talk about being out there, and trust me, I'm an expert on out there. After what seems like a lifetime, he finally speaks up, and I feel every single drop of predictability evaporate. All right, let's meet at Empire on the Sun. Let's meet at Empire of the Sun in an hour. Hold up, for real? Empire of the Sun, 1 hour, do not let me down. And before I even have a chance to say anything like thanks or crack a joke, he turns on his heels, hops in his perfectly serviceable vehicle, and drives off into the night. I feel right at home, all alone and without anything or anyone breathing down my neck. Surprisingly to myself and probably to Patty as well, I have no intention of bailing, not when there's a real solid lead waiting for me at Sunny's. But then again, the night is young, lit up, and gorgeous, and I'm alone in a city that never sleeps. Why not enjoy the scenic route? Alright, so next part. Empire of the Sun. From pillar to post to another anarch spot. Networking right. With Patty temporarily out of the picture, is on me to ring that Skylar Dustborn drive or even last drop of intel. Empire of the Sun. Empire of the Sun. Night 2. The area outside Empire of the Sun is pretty sparse, both with mortals and my fellow kindred. So chilling out front isn't a big deal. I blend in perfectly, all amped up for whatever's going down tonight. Still, old habits die hard, so I take a sec to study the area carefully, taking it in the way my con artist sensibilities demand. First off, it's mostly tame out here. The only dude catching my eye is this total nutjob parked by the door, screaming about doomsday while rocking that coked up Al Pacino look. He's got that wild eye, complete with drool, instantly his eyes, insanity in his eyes. Yikes. Even if I was still in the grifter game, I wouldn't bother with him. Lunatics like that are more trouble than they're worth, and usually broke to boot. Then there's the front of the dive, which looks, for lack of a better word, loved. Despite the dodgy neon and the graffiti that's actually kind of witty, the place radiates an inviting warmth. A place with a soul. Still, the Empire of the Sun sign with Su scribbled next to it is so on the nose, I can't help chuckle on the inside. People clearly have fun sunnies and treat it as their place. A place they can return to again and again and again and never feel unwelcome. But I'm wasting precious time just standing out here. Gotta find Skylar before Patty comes back and gives me the look. I heard from the entrance door decked out with all sorts of funny stickers. But before I can even touch the handle, the crazy guy grabs me with unexpected speed for someone so curled up. I shake him off easily and give him my best back off glare. It does nothing. He's in his own world. Oh, it's coming. The reckoning is upon us. The signs. It kind of reminds me of Renfield. It's on. Is it coming? The reckoning is upon us. The signs. The signs. Hey, back off, will ya? Look up. Look up. Damn you. It's death. Death, dressed in rays of light, is watching. The day star is waiting to cleanse us in fire. I walk past the guy. His words echo in my head and rattle between the crevices of my brain, stirring along dormant fears. Can you see it? The day star is the end of all. I enter Sunny's acting all cool and collected as if none of that crazy shit fazed me. The interior looks exactly the way I expected. A kaleidoscope of stickers, murals, lights, and banners covering pretty much every available surface, interspersed with well-worn seating, musical instruments, and plenty of space for dancing, to say that I've seen it hundreds of times before in dozens of cities doesn't quite capture the whole picture. But I gotta say, feels like home. Spotting Skylar is easy with her head full of bleached dreadlocks. Besides, the bar is practically empty. Maybe all the kindred have gone to ring in the holiday season. Who knows? She's hunched over a table. 1 second. Coco, what are you doing? What are you doing, baby girl? You want to try to get you sleepy? Why are you sleeping? Good. She hunched over the table, completely focused on scribbling something in a notebook. She doesn't even notice as I approach, so I get a sneak peek on one of the pages and discover some gorgeous, inaccurate, intricate, and tersicric designs for, I assume, geometric tattoos. Nice drawings. Wow, those are dope. You ink people up? I plop down right next to her, shaking her out of her retrieve. She gives me a confused stare. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of my old gig. Tough finding clientele at night, huh? You could say that. Her eyes narrow on me, to which I respond with my brightest grin. Can I help you with something? Mato said you might be able to. Name's Callie. I'm looking for Renard Castle. Never heard of him, so that's all. And where do you think you're going? I grab her by the collar as gently as I can and ease her back down. She resists a little, but let's be honest, a thin blood has nothing on a well-fed kindred. I keep her down easily, but my grin widens in a manner that is, hopefully, just a little bit threatening. I usually favor dodging conflicts over sparking in, but this time my impulses steer me towards chaos. And I let the flood take me like a ship on the window-specked sea. Let go of me. Answer my questions then. Renard Castle. Where is he? Look, I really don't know any Renard Castle or whatever, okay? Really? Playing dumb? Do I look like I'm here for games? Cut the shit and talk. I have nothing to say to you, bitch. Let me go or I'll start screaming. Don't. Not after I rip out your fucking windpipe. You won't. Now simmer down and let's talk. Her eyes start to wander, dimmed by the sheer power of my bearing. For a moment, she sits motionless, her rubber body twisted in a delicately awkward way before tensing up, as if she's going to bolt. But I'm ready for it. I grab her by the neck, slam her onto the table, and then turn her face towards me calmly, repeating my question. Now, where is Renard Castle? She keeps struggling for a moment, but in the end just goes limp, defeated and seething with frustration. I honestly don't know. I've only heard bits and pieces about him. Any alchemist worthy of their salt knows all their major suppliers in the city. So you sling ink and mix potions. That's quite the combo. Screw you. Not sure where my genuine compliment went wrong, but okay. So what's the scoop on Castle? Preferably his current whereabouts? I keep telling you, I got no clue. I never even laid eyes on him. Then give me something worthwhile. You're sort of wasting my time here, girly. Love me a good chat, but I'm on the clock at the moment. All right, chill out, will ya? I know someone. There's this courier. She delivers all sorts of shit over the county. Can give you pretty much anything. She's tight with Castle, all right? Interesting. Go on. Go on? Go on what? I smother the urge to roll my eyes. Go on. Hook me up with her. Like yesterday. All those threats and she still hesitates to help me. Well, the time for the stick has come and gone. Now it's time for the carrot. I really wasn't lying when I told Mato I'd rather not make any more enemies in the city. Look, you're not exactly catching on here. I could just take your phone and set up the meeting myself, but I'm feeling generous, so I'm asking politely. I might add. You call that polite? I could switch back to rude. I can even go back to impolite, if that's what you prefer. But I think you rather I didn't. I'll even sweeten the pot. All right, you set me up a meeting with that courier of yours, and I'll clue you in on where I stash my goods. Her ears perk up a little, but she still eyes me with great suspicion. What goods are you talking about? I flash her a reassuring grin, and though she recoils a little, her attempt at nonchalance fails miserably. Blood stash is obviously top quality, best variety, all your little alchemist hearts might possibly desire. Deal? I reach out my hand, pausing to give her the space to decide before I am forced to make the decision for her. Luckily, after a brief deliberation, she reaches out and shakes my hand. Deal. Hold on, I'm gonna make a call. I nod and relax, keeping her in sight as she wanders over the stage area and takes out her phone. I feel a twinge of guilt over how I treated her. Maybe I should just start off with that whole blood stash thing. Well, I may not exactly a planner, am I? If this courier leads me to Renard tonight, this whole search could end in a matter of hours. Just the thought of freeing myself from the looming thrust of the Carmelia, that knowing catif in this oh so futile endeavor. It warms my chambers of my undead heart. Finally, Skylar hangs up and gets back to the table, fishing with the charm hanging from her phone. A real bundle of nerves. Done. Meeting at 15. Let's move. When it blazes bright, we'll all be judged. A gentle snowfall greets me outside, gracefully covering the dirty sidewalks in a layer of pristine white and dusting the occasional pedestrian with soft fleeting crowns. Skylar winces at the scream of the madman and brushes off the fallen snow. I, on the other hand, let it settle in my hair, undisturbed. Snow never bothered me. Snow never bothered me anyway. So, where are we meeting exactly? And where? The moment that she opens her mouth, the perfectly servable vehicle cuts the corner with Patty hunched over the steering wheel, a rolling storm cloud on his face. He pulls up carelessly and lunges forward towards Sunny before nosing Skylar and me. He pauses, face scrunching in confusion. He seems generally surprised to see me, and I'm suspended somewhere between feeling smug and defying his expectations, exasperated that he has so little faith in my word, and slightly regretful. I never even attempted to flee, only to gauge his reaction. Sadly, he regains his composure before I can tease him about it. You're here. That's good. Of course, for now. Don't get... Good, huh? Do contain your excitement, my good sir. It's unseemly impolite company. What would you have me say? Outstanding? And a decent start, but I'll settle for divine. He rolls his eyes and settles his gaze on Skylar. They size each other up suspiciously, like a pair of alley cats on a hot tin roof. Patty, meet Skylar, a local anarch with a knack for alchemy. Skylar, meet Patty. It's Paderic, actually. Pleased to meet you, Skylar. Yeah, alright, you super formal goof. Skylar nods at him curtly. I can see the appreciation in her eyes, so I step in, hoping to keep our fragile truce. Don't stress too much. Patty might be a bit uptight, but he's alright. He's just here to offer us a lift, that's all. I am? Yep. I see. Skylar eyes jump between Patty and me, but in the end, she seems to just give up on caution. Maybe the prospect of ripe blood stash is keeping her on track. We need to get moving. The meeting place isn't far, but night couriers aren't known for their patience. Let's hustle. A night courier, huh? Interesting. You know that part, right? You already told us. Who is this particular courier exactly? She shrugs, making her way towards the Catisse ride. Don't know. I only know her by the handle, and she always wears a helmet, so... How mysterious. As long as she's clued into Renard's location, seems like my kind of gal, too. Maybe I should start wearing something on my face, like a cool mask. Yeah, we could be the Nightly Avenger. Skylar mutters under her breath. A gag. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. He's wandering around the floor. I couldn't really get her. Can you sit down for a second? Okay. Honestly, Patty and her would definitely hit it off. Birds of a feather, yada yada yada. Careful, or I'll gag you instead. She presses her lips together and gets into the car without another word. Satisfied, I nod to myself before turning to Patty. Anyway, you done with the truck thing? Yes. His speedy response is slightly suspicious. I narrow my eyes and judge him openly, but... Oh, excuse me. But he's completely unfazed. More importantly, what's that all about? A night courier? I smile at him mischievously, fling the passenger door open, and there it is. Patty's audible sigh. He's really fond of his mortal reactions to my antics. Voices of the angels, they seep poison, poisons your ears. Heed not their honey words. The sudden commotion alerts me, and I instantly ready to pounce. The loony from before is kneeling before Patty, clutching at the hem of his pants with his head thrown back in misted over eyes, staring blankly into the night sky. He stops screaming, but his lips quiver with faint whispers that fade into the air like smoke. Dream not in your slumber, for the daystar will sear it into truth, into your whole being. I sigh and roll my eyes, ready to talk. Oh my god, she's trying to give me a kiss because I'm talking. You think I'm talking to you? Don't put your paws on my face. You think I'm talking to you? Think I'm talking to you? Pretty girl. You're a pretty girl. Thank you. He's staring emotionlessly into the man's eye, completely frozen aside from his hand, fingers switching wildly, spinning the dice ring. He's been fidgeting like that a lot, actually, now that I'm paying attention. Patty, you okay there, buddy? No answer. The catatonic madman falls over into the snow as I approach and gently free Patty from his grasp. Patty, talk to me. What's going on? Suddenly his hand stops, then all of him unfreezes. He avoids my eyes and shoves his hands into his pocket. I'm fine. You sure? What was all that about? I do not know. Let's not fret about it for now. The night courier is waiting. Right. Should we do one more? I want to try to finish this night, but I'm pushing the time, my time limit. So let's just try to finish it. I thought I knew every fixture with whom Renard has ties in, given my role as the logistics scout of our courtier. Maybe I'm just tired, but I have no clue who that night courier might be, and it sends my trickster senses into overdrive. Usually I fill the car with some kind of idle talk whenever I'm with friends or just by myself, but this time I just let the silence hang. Neither Patty nor Skylar seem keen on. Alright, bring it down. down. Keen on chatting, not even with classic Queen tracks playing on the Catif. Perfectly serviceable car is almost uncommonly quiet as we cruise through the night streets of New York City. I got this strange sensation in my stomach, like I've eaten a chunk of ice. If Kendra could get indigestion, I blame it on my last mortal meal, but since that's not a thing, I guess this feeling must be anxiety. It's really not my usual vibe. Something about this whole situation makes the hairs on my neck stand right up. It feels like there is something terrifying waiting for me at our destination, just a few blocks away, but weirdly enough, my gut is telling me not to run from it. And my gut is usually spot on. As we pull up to the meeting spot, the night courier stands out immediately, mostly because she's the only one around. Clad in dark leather and spotting a helmet, she almost disappears into the night alongside her bike. We barely come to a halt before Skylar jumps out of the car and approaches the courier in a few strides. She seems eager to talk and even more eager to bolt, so I keep my eye on her, ready to give chase. She looks like she might make a run for it. It's not even a question. I shoot a quick glance his way and catch him looking at Skylar, just as intently as I am. Wouldn't surprise me. Well, I most certainly would in her place. The real question is whether she's willing to sacrifice access to my stash for that chance, and she seems pretty keen on to get her hands on it. I see. Well, let's hope her interest hasn't waned then. The moment Skylar pivots and heads our way, we cut the chatter and step out of the car. 5 minutes. That's all I could get for you. Spend it well. Her hand reaches out to me in a gesture that feels overly formal. I shake it vigorously, keeping my face utterly solemn. She jerks it away, clearly taken aback by my intensity. The key, to your stash. I held up my end of the bargain. Yeah, I got it right here. I toss her the key, which she easily snags out of the air. Pleasure. With that, she's off into the night. As she disappears, we casually approach the night courier. One look at Pederic reveals a simmering impatience. I know he wants to take the lead. And honestly, while I'm not exactly thrilled to step aside, it seems like a pragmatic choice. Let's face it, negotiations with Skylar went less than stellar even by my standards. But Pederic hardly gets a word out before the courier cuts him off with a sharp, sour response. Oh, she took her helmet off. Shut the hell up, pretty boy. Wait, I know the sound of that walking angst vortex. Callie, what the fuck did you get yourself into this time? She takes off her helmet and I am floored, staring at a face I never thought I'd see again, outside some vampire afterlife fantasy. Jess? Holy shit. Is that actually you? Is this why you dragged my ass over here to star in this shitty high school reunion? As prickly as ever, I'm dying to give her a hug, but her thundercloud of a face screams back the fuck off. I settle for an awkward pat on the shoulder. Care to introduce me? Just eyes nearly pop out of her head. Oh, piss off. Is this really why I'm out here? What? No. Hell no. Let's just go one step at a time. Christ. Pederic, meet Jessica. Jessica Wainwright? I know you like it's formal. She was part of our crew before she set up and vanished like a ghost a year back or so. Speaking of which, we thought you were gone for good. I mean, she seems thrown by that, but she swallows whatever rush of words clawing at her throat. Oh, really? Well, that clears up the mystery of the silent phones. So we're playing it like that? I fucking warned you, you dick. Not like I can text beyond the grave. FYI, I left you guys a fucking note. The whole situation is surreal. The hell are you on about? Renard said, of course, Renard Castle turning shit into gospel. Her despicably soft features harden. Why the hell are you poking around for him anyway? Because I'm totally screwed. Why? Because it's a fucking Tuesday, that's why. And by that I mean he's off the grid and now I'm neck deep in shit because the Camarilla wants him found. Right, and who's this charmer? I'm essentially the raft keeping her afloat in a cesspool that she plunged herself into. I'm not gonna lie, I jumped a little, sort of forget he was even there. Still, toss him a wounded look and pout a little while Jess lets out a hearty laugh. So I'm suffering this wave of horse shit with you? Oh, you filthy, filthy lifeline. The sheriff and had him shadow me. I swear he's useful sometimes. Maybe it's the pretty, infinitely punchable face that does it. Right. And you just went along with this creeping around because why? Exactly? Because I don't have a death wish? Look. It was either play nice or get up close and personal with the sheriff's sharp-ass blade. So yeah, I chose a lesser of two shit towns. Shit shows. She's clearly not amused. Stepping outside of the gang has really changed her vibe. Hell, we used to get along swimmingly back when we were cramped in the RV together. Maybe a bit of real talk is what I need to melt that ice. I drop my voice as if I'm letting her in a deep, dark secret. Truth be told, there's gotta be something bigger at play with this whole mess. You hear me? I just can't figure out what the hell they want with Renard. And why now of all times? Jess shrugs and crosses her arms over her chest, looking like she could care less. Waterlet? The sky's blue and piss stinks, by which I mean underneath all that charm, Castle's been a two-faced lying sack of shit from day one. No wonder the whole Ivory Tower is on his tail. Hold up. There's clearly bad blood between her and Renard, and it's skewing her view a bit. Maybe. Charming? Sure, I buy snake oil off the bastard too, but he's always been straight with me. What's even worse, she has this horrid look in her eyes I can only interpret it as pity. The hell's there to pity? I'm doing just fine, thank you very much. Heard through the grapevine you might know where Castle is hiding. And just last of that, and I'm losing my edge here? Oh honey, Castle's in deeper shit than Callie is. See, I've been involved with the circuitry system on and off, passing messages and whatnot. She leans back and even further onto her bike, all cool and collected, like nothing gets to her. I almost follow entrapped, but catch myself at the last moment and straighten up, signaling for her to continue. Where it is. Castle shot right up to the top of their shit list just a couple of nights back, based on some fresh intel they got from who knows where. Suddenly, she leans forward on her elbows, looking at me seriously. This is major league shit, Callie. Could be Uncle Sam level big, and it might not just be Castle in the crosshairs, but anyone tangled up with him. Keep hell away. Yeah, except running away somehow vanished from my playbook. I literally lost my head over it. I'll literally lose my head over it. She shrugs and starts putting her helmet on. It's your problem, not mine. I bailed on the clusterfuck of a sire for a reason. And on life has been beautiful ever since. Good fucking luck, though. Pause for dramatic effect. And don't bother calling me again. And she's gone, just as the engine roar fading into the night. Right back at ya, bitch. Without looking at Patty, I let out an awkward laugh and kicked some loose stones. She's quite something. How are you holding up? Could have gone better. I'm fine. She's changed. I'm fine. Nothing bothers me. I'm cool as a cucumber. Absolutely peachy. What's a little hate between siblings? Am I right? So the circulatory system, huh? What's your take? Patty mercilessly bites his lip tongue and pretends not to see that I'm sort of in shambles. It appears they are more eager to nab Renard Castle than we anticipated, and they managed to acquire some incriminating intel, to be honest. Things don't look too good for him. Great! And we're still no closer to finding him than we were last night, or whenever. And there's also the matter of whether the circulatory system tends to hunt you as well, by virtue of being Renard's accomplice. Oh, please. I'm hardly even a sidekick. He levels a blank stare at me, and I bark out a laugh. My spirits momentarily lift. I rub my hands together briskly, suddenly feeling like mischief. Well, seeing as your Anarch lead didn't really pan out, guess we're hitting Sanskrit next. He hesitates, wildly, twirling his ring more a tick than actual need this time. It is indeed our backup lead, but... only lead? Fine, but at the moment it is our only lead, but I have my reservations about Sanskrit. Let's unpack this back in my haven. Besides, dawn is nearly upon us. She starts walking towards the car, then pauses when he sees I haven't moved. I tug at the fraying edges of my sleeve, smiling at him almost apologetically. Yeah, funny story, but I can't, literally. He sizes me up relentlessly. Callie, this isn't the moment for your antics. We need to move, and quickly. The thing is, your haven isn't safe for me anymore. What are you? It's just the thing with my clan. If I crash in the same spot more than once a week, you might as well sweep me up at sundown, like with a broom. He looks at me persuasively, searching for deceit, which for once he isn't there. His finger stands on his hand, spinning the ring furiously. Finally, they come to a stop. Yeah, I get it. I'm not messing around. Oh, you do? A hint of mirth sparkles in his gaze, though his expression remains stoic. Let's rendezvous at my place tomorrow night. I got a private eye in mind who might have an idea where to find Sanskrit? A PI? You're not talking about D'Angelo, are you? He arches an eyebrow, a flicker of surprise on his face. Alright, acquaintance, I see. More like disappointed. The lepers... Okay. The leper is a good guy, but a dead end. Grilled him about Renard and got zilch. He even implied it was somehow my fault Renard's vanished off the face of the earth. Well, Castle is particularly a ghost. Sanskrit, on the other hand, is not exactly hiding. D'Angelo should know a thing or two about him. Fair, but he's a slippery little eel. We might need leverage to get him talking. A shade of smile. The shade of a smile crosses his face. Well, leave that to me. He'll talk. Why did I choose this voice for him? He turns around and climbs behind the perfectly serviceable veal. Tomorrow, dusk, my haven. Don't let me down. I give him a playful salute, waving as he pulls away. Ah, look at that. Night bleeding into day already. I already need to get a move on. There's a damp little cellar that I've been eyeing for a crash pad. It's not exactly the Ritz, but I've done my homework. It's secure enough for a quick sleepover. Time's ticking, but with any luck, I'll snag some prey en route. It's not good to sleep on an empty stomach after all. Alright. Last resort. If you're a ravenous home is just a dead memory. You only got a bunch of hideouts, some better than others, each offering a day's worth of safety, and one of them is close by, just waiting for me to hunker down and collect my thoughts. Ooh, what's this? I guess this is the place she found, I guess. Temporary haven. If D'Angelo's haven qualifies as a hovel, then this temporary shelter of mine is a full-on catastrophe. So utterly dismal, it could force Tommy myself. It could force Tommy Wiseau to shed a tear. Oh, hello, doggy. Mold is particularly redecorating the ceiling, and let's not start on the bed. A surprisingly damp mattress that leaks some extra sus fluids onto the floor with each squeeze. Home, sweet fucking home. But hey, at least it's pretty secure. There is zero chance of sunlight sneaking in here, maybe because their resident microbes have evolved enough to shut out anything that threatens their germy utopia. I sprawl out on the lumpy mattress and sulk over my dead Walkman, cursing myself for not getting spare batteries. When Renard pulls that thing out, I legit thought he was going to wiretap me. But turns out, he was just giving me a piece of his past. A little gift from the better times, or whatever. Honestly, as if I need another thing to play my tunes. Our gang is not as uptight about going online as the tower, so we stream just like everyone else. But I kinda got hooked, especially with the mountain of old cassettes crammed into our glove box. Digging through my belt bag in search of entertainment yields only the wooden stake that almost pierced my heart the night before. Shit. Almost feels like another lifetime. But the stake sends my thoughts drifting to Padaric. I'm pretty conflicted, to be honest. Can I trust him? He seems to be on my side, caring even, but there is something off about him, something unsettling. Can't put my finger on it. It doesn't help that he changes the length of my leash for no rhyme or reason. His mood swings faster than San Francisco weather. It's so annoying that he's now indispensable to my survival. Except for tonight. He was anything but. Still, he introduced me to Mato. My gut's screaming that this is going to be a game changer for navigating the city. Maybe even beyond Skylar. Or maybe even beyond. Skylar, not so much. And Jess? Well, yeah. I'll hold off on poking at that spot for a bit longer. At least until I shake off the dark sleep that's clawing at me. Eager, suffocating, steadily pulling me into the abyss. Meanwhile, away from the plot, I could say I've been more than considerate. She responds with silence, and that Verita's cruise ship. Verita's cruise ship. She responds with silence, and that unnervingly calm, icy stare that could easily drive one to the brink of madness is a weapon she honed to perfection. I thought I'd be used to it by now, but it slices through me viciously at the very first time. How long has it been now? 5, 6 months, half a year, trapped in this endless spin of justifications, half-truths, and unfulfilled promises, constantly veered off course. Despite her alleged interest in my unique condition, despite our shared thirst for answers, despite the growing urgency, the resolution in my dilemma always hovers just beyond my grasp. Still, she is the first kindred to make me believe she could truly grant me reprieve. I've been holding on up my end of the bargain. Not once have I raised objection. Not once have I strayed from our agreement. But I am not one of your puppets, Verata. I thought I made my stance unequivocally clear. Whoa, what the freak was she? That you did. That you did. This cannot go on. You need to deliver on your promise, or I am walking away. She cracks a smile, as stunning as it is rare, like a dragon flashing its fangs. It suits her, given her true nature. All in due time, dear. All in due time. We got a trophy. What was it? Complete the Anarchy chapter. All right, so that's the end of night 2. Let's go, before we close up, let's look at the any more of the glossary. What do we, new words. Cain, a mythical figure considered to be the first and most powerful vampire. The same person as Cain from the biblical stories. Some vampires refer to themselves as Cainites, members of the race of Cain. Nothing else? Nope. Alright, so we're on night 2. So we go up to 7 nights in this game. Do we have any more disciplines? Like, can we add more points? No, okay. Okay, let's look at these characters, because, that's so cool that they actually got this now. Addison Payne, Venture Primogene. Addison Payne accompanies a pivotal role within the Camarilla, valued for his vast wealth, extensive connections, and unwavering adherence to tradition. Despite being unable to move or speak on his own due to his physical condition, Addison is accompanied by a devoted attendant who articulates his thoughts to others. As a highly respected figure in the Ivory Tower, his contributions to Prince Panhar's agenda were significant, at least until he set his sights on seizing her title. However, some kindred question and whispers whether Payne is truly capable of making his own decisions, or if he's just an empty shell puppeted by an invisible hand. Oh, it shows her clan at the top. Shemia, Alcine Sturbridge, High Regent of the 5 Royal Chantiri. Alcine reveals only what she wants others to know. Fiercely loyal to her clan, she remains focused on securing and strengthening the warlocks, position in New York City, even as her high regent status waves due to the splintering within the Tremere strata. Prince Panhard grips weakening. Al Senior stands that influencing her may soon yield little profit. Savvy and strategic, she seeks alternative both within and outside the court to achieve her goals, willing to take risks beyond common sense. Caleb, devoted to the cause and ruthless beyond his years, he is not afraid to get his hands dirty. Well, he's dead. Doomsayer, unhinged. Oh, he's a ghoul. To most passerbyers, he may seem just another maniac wandering the streets of New York City, but those who can read between the lines may find a profound message in his ribbish. Nosferatu, Gianni D'Angelo, Paranoid Gumshoe, a self-proclaimed detective extraordinaire with a penchant for noir drama, a knack for getting tangled in conspiracies, and more than a few unresolved issues. While he considers himself an Otarisk, he has no qualms about aligning with either of the New York City sects when it suits his interests. He crossed paths with Callie during her occasional business in the city a couple of years ago, marking the start of what would be considered a friendship, if you squint hard enough. Venture, Helen Panhard, Prince of New York City, the current ruler of the local Camarilla, despite her notable efforts and connections, appear to be struggling to maintain her position as the prince. Panhard is constantly on alert, carefully concealing any signs of weakness or vulnerability that could be exploited by her detractors. Even the kindred expected to support her through the most difficult times favor her no longer and are only waiting for the right moment to retract their backing. Some figures are increasingly vocal in their opposition to her leadership and actively seek to undermine her authority. Especially Qadir al-Asim, who first in line to deal with the fallout of her steadily slipping control. Oh, she can get beheaded finally. Hound, Carmelia's footstool. He's Lansombra. I thought Lansombra had a thing where there can only be like a certain amount of numbers of them. Largely incompetent as a hound, but useful from time to time as an Elysian bouncer. He's always brooding because his embrace into La Sombra clan took away his precious hobby, playing video games around the clock. I mean, if you're immortal, you have nothing but time to finish all the games you want. Jessica Wainwright, Ravnos, a night courier, a child of Renard Castle who, fed up with his constant lies, left their gang for good a year ago. Now, for the first time in her life, she relies slowly on herself, riding through New York City as a night courier. She'll deliver anything for anyone who pays, all while picking up gossip throughout the city, which she will gladly sell to the highest bidder. There's our girl! Julia Slawinski, La Sombra Primogene, a veritable kindred power cake. Julia combines the wits of a former journalist with the ruthlessness of a fully realized La Sombra. Having recently taken her place on the council, sacrificing her lover and a good part of her humanity in the process, she is still regarded as somewhat of an outsider. Her relationship with her former mentor, Qadir al-Asim, has grown decidedly chilly. Armed with cigarettes and a dark sense of humor, Julia fights hard to stay ahead in the eternal power struggle of the Ivory Tower. But nobody knows what the upcoming nights will bring for the young, fantastical La Sombra. And there's our main character, Callie. It's Callie. Ravanos, dark web dealer. drifting through life from one rave to another and scamming people for a living. Callie was a ravenous through and through, long before catching the eyes of Renard Castle. Seeing her as a potential asset, he promptly embraced her almost 2 years ago. Her unique insight into human nature and access to secure dark web trading channels have been a great boon to her crate. As a logistics expert, she ensures merchandise, no matter how shady, ends up in the right hands. However, with her sire's mysterious disappearance, Callie must learn how to swim in uncharted waters instead of simply relying on her gifts and lady luck smile. Tremere Matto Blomqvist, Tremere apostate. Traumatized by his sire's ruthlessness, Matto Blomqvist left his clan in the world of thaumaturgy behind to pursue a path more in harmony with peaceful nature. He opened a car repair shop in the Anarch turf and threw himself into his work, finding solace in unlikely hobby. This gentle giant is probably the most human kindred in the Bronx. Just ask Paddy Conroy. Once his regular customers, then a savior, and now Mato's ally. Mia Sorrento, Bluha, right hand to Turok. When Mia Sorrento means business, there's little that can sway her. A fact well known by the Licks to respect her. She once considered herself Turok's protector and moral compass, steering him towards Anarch ideal. However, as he increasingly aligned with Camarilla, she became more radical in her opposition. The situation escalated when she lost her status as Turok's advisor, supplanted by the Katif Patrick Conroy. Her clash with Turok is inevitable. The only question is when. Patrick Conroy, Katif Mediator. A calm, non-scripted presence lurking in the background of any meeting involving both the Anarchs and Camarilla, Patrick Conroy easily assumes the mantle of mediator. Although disdain for his Katif preference by the Ivory Tower figures, he not only serves as peacemaker, but also acts as advisor to Turok, the Baron of the Bronx. Uptight, taciturn, and surrounded by an air of mystery, Patrick is tasked with shadowing Callie in her search for her missing sire, all the while skirting around his most private affairs. Toledo, Qadir al-Asim, Sheriff of New York City. The paragon of loyalty and duty, Qadir al-Asim has served as New York Sheriff for a few more decades than is advisable. Disillusioned with the fruitless bickering of the council and the indecisiveness of Prince Panhard, Qadir finds it increasingly challenging to fulfill his duties. The emergence of new threats within the city, intent on dividing and conquering it, or simply tearing it apart, only worsen this struggle. Even those who wish him well, insofar as kindred are able to, see that he is becoming increasingly ruthless, slowly but surely giving in to the beast. Thin Blood, Skylar, well-connected Anarch alchemist. Skylar, an albino dustborn, was first-hand information about the blood trade in New York, keeping a tight network on low-profile contacts. While she strives to appear tough among her Anarch peers, her demeanor easily crumbles under the right influence. Squeaker, rookie huntress. Loud, boisterous, and abrasive, she tries to make up for her lack of experience with her determination to follow orders, even if it means putting herself in danger. Venture, Thomas Arturo, influential harpy. Despite the mystery veiling his machinations, Arturo's deep-seated contempt and vanity are unmistakable. One of the most ambitious kindred in New York City, he exploits his influence as harpy to skillfully navigate court games, employing any measure that could benefit him in the long run. However, with the weakening position of Prince Helen Panhard and no suitable replacement, he can easily manipulate. Arturo struggles to maintain his meticulously designed life. Bruja Turok, Baron of the Bronx. Oh, he's the one that's gone. Nope, not that one. While Turok's heart has always been ready for a fight, the complexities of kindred politics has shifted his focus towards brokering deals rather than breaking skulls. This change has lent him a newfound air of prudence and conservatism, despite still having some clout among the less fierce licks. Turok's position as a leader weakens by the night. His previous machinations have led him to a stalemate where he can do little more than engage in politicking. He resents that position, but the fear of losing his hard-earned gains paralyzes him from taking decisive action. And finally, Venture, Valerie Duvall, Scourge of New York City. The figure of Valerie Duvall inspires fear throughout New York City. She executes her duties with ruthless efficiency under the sheriff's orders. Excuse me. At times, independently, she targets the thin-blood population. As a model member of the clan Venture, she combines grace and beauty with cunning and relentlessness, patiently waiting the perfect moment to strike without mercy. And we know the disciplines, we cannot alter those, at least not yet. Well, that should be it for now. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. I'm loving this one. Man, I like the other games, but this I like how this one is designed a little bit more. I like how this one is built a little bit more. All right, let's save. Oh, we can select chapters too? Oh, select. Oh, okay, so we gotta still select that one. Okay, I get it. Okay, this is really cool. I am liking this. This is really I mean, all of them have been like mystery games, except for like kind of like the first. Well, the first one had a mystery, but it kind of like isn't really there until like it hits you over the head. Like I'm liking I like how this is built a little bit more. I like how this is built a little bit differently. And it just has a different vibe to it, I guess you can say. Still dark, still brooding. It just feels more, I guess mean. Maybe it's the language. This one is very, very, heavy cursing in it. Cause like the first one, like there's a few curse words here and there, but this one's like, God, this is an HBO show? Are we watching True Blood here? All right, that's it for tonight. I need to go, mostly because it's late, and mostly because my throat is killing me. Oh my God, it really hurts. Talking for so long, like that, all those different voices. Okay, so like I said, tomorrow I have to go help Papa Ninjin with some things. I'm not sure if I'll be coming home tomorrow or yeah, I'm not sure I'll be coming home tomorrow. If I do, I may come home late, but the ideal is to go with Mouse PI. Do 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 Then Tuesday is our rest day. Then everything goes right, followed by Resident Evil. And then we're gonna finish up Life is Strange for the next 2 days. Then on Saturday is either going to be a movie night or more Resident Evil. Or more of this. I'll try to do a coin flip or something if I can. And next week we should be starting Life is Strange True Colors, which, as far as the little bit I've heard about it, is probably the worst of the games. I don't know. I've heard mixed things about it. I'm not sure if it's good or bad. To be honest. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I gotta go. Love you all. I'll see you all later. Have a good night, or evening, or morning, wherever you may be in this crazy, crazy wide world. And I will catch you all later. Watch your mouth. Later. Bye bye. Ah, wrong button. Wrong button. No, 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 no.